You don't exist. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look at better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheap again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the first part of What If Deku Enters Chainsawman. Smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Getting hit by lightning sucks as many would assume, but when this stray bolt hits you in the middle of the clear-ass sky, you seem to be contemplating why me. 1 hour later, waking up in a haze, I check my surroundings and I'm in the middle of a street. I run of just as soon as a car grazes me. Geez, what in the hell happened? I take out my phone from my pocket and my reflection. I startle back looking at the change. I have blonde hair with a white lightning bolt streaking through the right side of my hair like Kaminari in My Hero Academia. I turn to see a person with snake for hair, then one with a whale mutation making them giant. What the hell? How am I here? After calming down, I trek past an alley into another and into another. Gasp, gasp, gasp. My hands were on my knees as I hunch over, sweat rolling down my forehead. I seem to have a better physicality than from my old world, judging by how long I ran and judging on some people like Midoriya having broken bones getting slammed into a wall, but I digress. How'd I get here? I look on the reflection on my phone one more time, checking my face one more time. White lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning. That's it, I got hit by lightning, but how? It was a clear sunny day walking home after hanging out with friends. I check my phone for the contacts to see God on my contacts list. What in the hell? PLS, do not tell me this is how I got Iced to another world, just like those Opus main characters in Isekai that get harems. Those are the worst animes to ever watch. Sigh. Moving on. Calling God, who would have thought it? Not me anyway. A deep voice answered my call with a simple hello. Taken aback, I simply asked with a certain dumbstruck look on my face, hello God, did you happen to strike me with lightning on accident and sent me to another world by chance? Like a little chance. A couple of seconds of silence ensued. You're taking this a lot better than I thought you would. Anyways, yes, I did do this, and you have my sincerest of apologies. That is why I gave you a blessing. A blessing? How? What would this be exactly? Well, not to sound ungrateful or anything. A series of laughter filter through my phone. No, nothing's wrong, my boy. He clears his throat and continues. I gave 2 blessing, 1 to have connections to your old world via your phone, and a special ability, or what they're called in this world, quirks. I infused electricity in your body to act like your stamina while also being able to expel the electricity out of your control or absorb foreign electricity, boosting your electricity storage. So you're saying I have a quirk like Nejire Hado while also being able to absorb electricity from anything with electricity? That's insane. Not giving him time, I ask a question. I have one question though, can I get back home? Yes, you can. You need to kill the humans, 1 for all's 8th user, All Might, and all for 1. Once those 2 are dead, you may be able to go home out of your own choice. I wouldn't want to force you. Insert shell-shocked face. How in the hell? I have one last question before you hang up. What would that be, young one? There is nothing different about this world compared to the animanga in my world. No, this is the exact same as your stories. Our stories. He hangs up before another question could be asked. Well, I have more questions. Sighing for the 20th time today. I check the time, my phone seems to be fully charged. Wonder why, I thought with a glum smile. Sighing again. Geez, I need to stop sighing so much. Well, whatever. 5:27 p.m. Walking in the city won't do me any good if I don't even know where I am. I check the TV in a window of an establishment. There seems to be news. Let's see, I'm in Mustafa. Ha, crap. Did I get transported to the beginning of the animanga? Another sigh left my body. Boom. A sudden explosion takes my attention as there is a crowd of people in prose and the slime villian from the animanga. Boom, 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 boom. A series of explosions soon come courtesy Katsuki Bakugou. What a paladin. Katsuki Bakugou is a pretty cool guy, well beyond the anger issues, but he is cool. And I get to see him choke to death. Yeah, wait, what? I need to help the damn guy. I know he won't die, but still it sucks just standing here, damn it. I rush to the front of the crowd just to see Midoriya run past the pros and making his way to Katsuki. I can't really hear what they say, but with the pros' attention on Midoriya, I rush in as well. I need to help, damn it. Wait a minute, if I save one or both, I can ask if I can crash at one of their places. I'm a genius, though easier said than done. As soon as I rush in, Katsuki gave me a questioning glare while I just shrug in response. Midoriya made his mark and threw his backpack, hitting the villain in the eye while he began his mission to scope Katsuki out of the slime. Deku, what the fuck are you doing? I don't need your help. Katsuki took the breath he had to yell at the younger boy. Kachin, I can't just stand there and watch you die. Midoriya was a streaming river of tears as they kept flowing out of his unwavering eyes. I rushed my way through the flames to see a split wire from one of the towers. Perfect. Making a whip out of electricity is not that hard to make. To my surprise, making two isn't that much of a game changer either. Grappling both of their wrists with one whip each, they fly back, getting pulled from the whips. They land hard, Katsuki on his butt and Midoriya on his back respectively, immediately picking himself back up due to the danger. Who the fuck are you extra? I didn't need your Deku's fucking help. Bakugou howled in fury. Midoriya, just happy to not be dead, jumped in surprise. Thanks, you really helped out there, Midoriya said in a self-deprecated tone. Enough talk, we're still in trouble. Having a certain urgency in my voice due solely on the danger. The slime villain made a quick recovery from his shock and began rushing at us three. Preparing for the worst, Katsuki got up and started making palm-sized explosions out of his hands. I quickly emit electricity covering my hands, unsure of much electricity I have. The slime villain battle cry being the only audible thing you could hear. He seemed to have stopped. Wait. It's All Might. I began seeing his body in the white shirt and khaki pants stretched to fit his figure. To think I was scared of a little time, how pathetic. All Might said under his breath, Detriot smash. All Might yelled out one of his moves, one of the more iconic super moves. One's literally seeing him change the weather is insane. How am I meant to fight against that? I know I got a broken quirk, but this is still intimidating, I erratically think. 10 minutes later, I managed to break away from the crowds of pros. Some complimented me on my quirk and handle of the situation, while Death Arms scolded me and Midoriya at the same time. Thinking on it won't get me anywhere. I spot Katsuki walking through a street to another, but I cut in during midway of his trek. Hey, you alright dude? That villain caught you off guard, I say in a friendly tone of voice. He gives me a quick side eye of acknowledgement. What the hell are you doing here extra? I didn't need your help, he seethed. What do you even want anyways? You want me to thank you or something because you ain't fucking getting it extra? He yelled in his over-the-top yell. Nah, you seem like a cool guy when you want to be, plus it seems as though you want actual friend. I saw you earlier with those two other guys, they pretty much kissed your ass all the time. They made a comment about you. I said knowing or not if he was hanging out with them before, but it's worth a shot. You notice that to how he says in a rather calmer tone than normal. It's just when you get treated like you're at the top of the world, yo, I continue the rest, you start acting like you're on top of the world. And that recent encounter with that villain brought you down to earth. High finish. I look at him to see a somber look on his face. Are you gonna be a hero? I say in serious tone. He looks at me. If you want to be a hero and you let one single loss and you lose all your confidence, then you're not fit to be number one. Hell no, even a sidekick to a D-lister. Repeating the words he said to his middle school classmates brought him a contemplating look on his face. I guess those pros' compliments weren't well placed. This seemed to spark him though, with his signature grin on his face. Oh, I guess I have to show you too that I'm the best. Welcome back, nice to have you back. He scowls at me but sighs and gave a contemplated look. Then I guess you're right, letting this one fight shake me up. That's pathetic. Thanks. I cut him off once more. Thanks, Rai. He blushed in embarrassment. We continue our walk without interruption. He introduced himself and so did I. Now the big question. It was silent for a couple more seconds. Hey Katsuki, I was wondering if you do me a favor. Putting my hands together in a praying motion. His eyebrow raised at my question. Spit it out, he responds nonchalantly. Can I crash at your place? I pleadingly ask. He quickly responds with a why. I reply pleadingly again. I'm homeless at the moment. He lets out a puff of hair out of his mouth. Just make sure you watch my old hag of a mom. Thanks Katsuki, I say with my fist in the air. Whatever, he replies, but turns his head to let an amused puff of air. Seeing the house I saw in the anime and reality really convinced me that I wasn't dreaming. I had a lingering thought, but this seems to confirm my suspicion. Alright, I'm really here. Is this the place? I say, breaking the silence that seems to plague me in Katsuki interactions. Yeah, I texted the old hag. You'd be here for how long did you say? The explosive blonde questioned. A week at the shortest. I need money for my own place, but being 14 really limits my options, you know. I reply sourly. I only met the guy now. I ask him for this. What's with me? You saddened at my thoughts. I clear my head and walk inside the door, having been opened a second ago. Katsuki, what the hell was that? You were attacked by a fucking villain. I was so fucking worried. I called Masaru to get home. She suddenly stops talking and takes a look my way. Your little one to save my damn brat. How? What? The name addressed me while I just stare. Her eyes are concentrated on only me, weighing my options. I start speaking names. Rai. Ms. Bakugou, and I'm sorry that you want me to keep me her for a week. I'll be as clean as I can. I reply, half-hazardous of the reaction. TSH, no need to worry kiddo, you can stay as long as you need and no need to call me Ms. Bakugou, just call me Auntie. Rai. She smirks at me and motions me inside. Katsuki, having long passed here, was at his room making space in his room for me. Steeping foot in the living room reminded me my own home. Ugh, how am I gonna get money when I'm an unregistered person that got transported to another world? How am I gonna go to school? Mulling over my thoughts while sitting on the couch, I pull out my phone, having a new crack on the top left side due to slime villain confrontation. I check my phone for notifications to see someone released a music video. Music that released. Music from another world. I wonder, can I just copy paste some songs? Switching my apps to the phone, I search for mom contact. I pushed and waited there for it to go straight to voicemail. Are you kidding me? I stand to go to Katsuki room and to see him not even here. Returning to my thoughts, I find a computer already on. I sit in the computer chair and look to see any of the bigger songs I know. In my world here I see nothing that I recognize. Alright, I should start finding a way to put money into a bank account I can use. My searching continues as I land on a tab where Mitsuki card is on here. Alright, I'll start downloading the songs. Katsuki bakugou POV. Getting out of the bathroom and seeing Rai on my computer like he's Deku, it really startled me. I didn't think he was the type. What's he even doing? Downloading music. Wait, I don't know any of these songs. Billie Jean, Dirty Diana, Thriller, or any of the rest. Rai, dinner's ready, come on. Rai with a shell-shocked face says coming. Seeing Rai reminds me I didn't ask where he went to school, or that he's not even wearing a school uniform, but jeans and a black hoodie. I'll just talk to him later. After dinner, walking to my room, I see Rai already there on the computer again. I should talk to him about it. I take a breath of air before I speak. Hey Rai, what the hell are you downloading, and why my computer? The old hag has one for her reception work. I growled to make myself more on the angrier side. Rai, with a dumb look on his face, quickly says, can you call auntie in here so I can tell the both of you? I nod, proceeding to go find the old hag. Rai POV. Waiting for Katsuki and Mitsuki to get into the room gave me time to think how I would put it. I can't necessarily just say I'm from another world, but I have to. Damn, my head hurts. They walk into the room. I can feel the tension rise. Mitsuki, deciding to break the ice, asked the big question, Rai, are you doing okay? When Katsuki called me in here, I got worried something bad must have happened. Mitsuki, in her cute but worried tone, gave me a new purpose on why I should speak. They trusted me, taking a breath of air before continuing. I just wanted to tell you the real reason why I needed to crash at your place. Silence, utter silence. I come from another world. Katsuki made the first move. Bullshit. Katsuki spat. You're bullshitting. You have to. The Katsuki utters as the sense kicked him in the mind, all the connections, and him not even looking Japanese. How he manages to get out. I got hit by a stray bolt of lightning by this guy holding up my phone for the contacts to see you really are. Katsuki and Mitsuki dumbstruck faces prove to me they need time to recuperate. 10 seconds pass. So why do you download the music then? It's music from my old world, and since my phone can't check this world, I check on your computer if they were here. Low. And behold, they weren't, but beyond that I need the money, so I'd put the music online and hopefully it'll sell. Mitsuki, connecting the final dots, gave me a pondering look. So that's why you used Katsuki computer to check the music and used my bank account info to make money enough to move out. That's a risky move, you know. Waking up and checking my phone like normal, making it read 8 AM. And I get up to check the computer for the sales, and holy fuck, what the hell? The album at 10 million plays already. $10,000 already. How? Oh wait, the US, it was 8 PM when I released the music, so it was about 8 AM for them. Damn, this is tough. Getting up, shaking my head from my thoughts, I go and get ready for the day, and got some of Katsuki cloths. Walking down the stairs lead me to the Bakugou family having breakfast. I even spot Katsuki. I thought he'd be at school. Oh, he just got attacked by a villain like yesterday. Hey, good morning. Auntie spots me walking down the stairs and greets me. Rai, get your ass in the chair. You're not skipping out on breakfast. So this is our son's savior. Thank you for being there to help Katsuki. He's a brash kid, but at least he has good friends to look out for him when we're not there. Masaru gets up and bows. Me being American, I never even experienced someone bowing to me. I raise my hands in embarrassment. Hey, Katsuki doesn't need someone to look out for him. He'll be an amazing hero in the future. Masaru gives a smile while I walk up to the able sitting next to Katsuki. Hey auntie, you might want to check your balance. My balance. Mitsuki pulls out her phone just to drop it the next second. Dear, are you alright? Masaru drops a concerned look to auntie. She screams 10,000 US in a couple hours. What? Katsuki perks up at the amount. 10,000, that's enough for an apartment, isn't it? His question brought a response. Yeah, but I need a stable amount of money to own an apartment, then hopefully rent a warehouse. We need a place to train to be heroes, don't we? You want to be a hero? Katsuki says with his eyes raising a small degree. I scoff at the question. If you were in my situation, what would you do? I guess I'd do what you're doing. I give him a smirk, but that slowly comes to a frown. How am I going to get to UA without school here? Hey auntie. Mitsuki perks up at the call. Yeah, you need something? Yeah, quick question. Can you adopt me? Why, well, I was hoping you could help make me a registered citizen of Japan's cool, and being able to go to school. And alright brat, plus you need your own bank account. Actually Katsuki, come to, it'll good to open one up for you. To Mitsuki, hopping into her shoes. We're behind you auntie, or soon to be mom. Checking my phone to see 4 hours have passed since I checked. It really took 3 hours to do that. Hell, she managed to get me enrolled at Aldera Middle School. Looking up from my phone, I see Katsuki walking next to me while we wait in line for ice cream as a certain half boy catches my eye and I can see he's been crying. I motion to Katsuki of him and he nods, taking my place in the line. I walk up to the boy. Hey, you know malls are supposed to be fun, but you're crying. Is there a problem I can help with? He looks at me coldly. I half expected it, and it did make me do a double take, but I, being an unrelentless dumbass, I continued. Who are you and why would you care? I smirk and introduce myself and my newly acquired family name with pride. Name's bakugou. He takes one look then looks away. Well, my name's Shototodoroki and I guess it's nice to meet you, bakugou-san. Do you mind if I sit here? My question sparked a response from the half boy. Well, no one is using it, so sure. Taking another breath, Todoroki began. Why would you care about a random person, huh? Well, I think all people deserve to be happy, and the includes you, Todoroki-kun. You can tell me anything, I'll keep my mouth shut, stopping before motioning my hand on my lips indicating a zipper. But I just met you, it wouldn't be right if I no need. If I can help you then I want to. I cut him off. A minute passes and he just stares at me with a deep breath. He finds his voice. Fine. 10 min later. Having this convo with Todoroki, Katsuki later joined in. We listened to his problems and we brought advice. If you're really sure your mother hates you because you resemble Endeavor, then your mother is more shallow than I think. Take that back. Todoroki proceeds to raise his voice at me and Katsuki. Katsuki being the wiser. Then you should visit her half and half. Nothing will happen if you don't take the first step, but I can't show my around her. I'll stop making excuses. We're going to visit your mother. I cut him off, standing from my chair where Todoroki questions. Yeah, I see. Hot, you need help and we're going to be the heroes that help you. Come on, where is she? 2 p.m. Waiting for Todoroki in the waiting room. Well, yay, Todoroki walking out of the visiting looking like he just cried, but to my understanding he did so. Yay. Him walking up to us, he bows his head. Instead of feeling embarrassed how I normally would, I smile at him and give him a hug. You were right, it's my quirk and I'll use it to become the hero I want to be. Then train with us, we're trying to be heroes and well, I would like your help and presence. I don't know about Katsuki though. Katsuki still in his seat yells like his normal self, icy hot, just don't hold us back and you're fine with me. Katsuki evens out as his voice drops to his more normal chill voice. Todoroki showing his own smirk. Well, of course I'm going to work hard, I'm going to be the number one hero. Staring at Katsuki as I swear I see 2 lightning bolts hitting each other when they have their challenging glare match. Well, hotshots, wait up, we need a place to train. I've been looking for warehouses to buy and they are expensive, but we need more money here. I could pay for half, Todoroki said, handing over a card. Whose is this? Wait, I know. Yay, his pockets are big enough for the warehouse by itself. Right, let's see the warehouses then. We need a place to train. Let's leave already. We've been making plans in a mental hospital. Let's go. Yay, Todoroki responds softly. Hey, can I call you Shoto? Alarmed, Todoroki raised an eyebrow. It's a sign of our friendship. Well, I'd like to think anyways. Sure, Rai, receiving a smirk from me and an annoyed glare from Katsuki. 1 week later. Moving, I'm 14. Well, before I got transported over I was 16. But now I'm 14. Geez, one more mystery also that I could speak perfect Japanese without seeing it other than anime was a definite surprise. I guess this was a given blessing from God. I look over to see Katsuki with big box filled with his computer parts. I rush over to help carry it and see Shoto with a couple boxes himself. Me starting to gain respect to people who renovate homes. I'm on the floor of the living section of the warehouse that is now has occupants of me. Katsuki and Shoto letting a sigh out on the reason they wanted to live here was questionable, but they have passion to be number one, so what can I say? Getting up and going to the dining room to see them planning a training schedule for the next 10 months. You guys are working hard. Their attention goes to me, then back to the paper. I look over the paper and see it has intricate things. I shake my head and I propose my idea. Hey guys, I got an idea. Their eyes raise and eyebrows furrow, looking intently at me. Let's have the first day for pushing your quirks to the limits, the second day to work on our physical body, and the third day to refining and making new skills and techniques. I finish. They both take time to contemplate this and just nod. Right, well, I've got 2 barrels with your names on it. Trying their training from the training arc will help them both improve while I bounce around with the electricity I've absorbed. I can try making a safety net covering the walls and floor for safe use of quirk usage, since quirks can be used only in private property or for not hurting others. The next 10 months would be literally blood, sweat, and tears, but it was well worth the trouble to say. Katsuki, Bakugou, and Shoto Todoroki were the same people they were 10 months ago would be quite the insult, as they are leagues ahead of what they should have been. Their strength are comparable to the time they were chasing after in Vigilante Deku while they had to experiment with their quirks, and to say we found a gold mine would be disrespectful. Katsuki able to use concentrated explosion to make a blade of constant explosions, and having all his armor-piercing techniques he went to create AP widespread. The technique entails laying his palm in the air, palm facing the floor, and having his fingertips shoot the shot. Burst, another technique recreatable from hard work but also an experimental technique we're working on. Combining burst and holding the explosion, having it be a concentrated explosion well reacts explosively, knocking Katsuki far back by him not being used to the recoil. The first time he used it he slammed into the net fast and dislocated his shoulders. Shoto, where to start? Well, he as well as Katsuki are at the VD arc power level. While having the techniques he evolved his quirk, so to speak, two different abilities. Really his way of saying his quirk was a dual quirk was true. Shoto gained the ability to switch his body to be all fire side or ice side. Also his hair changes as well. His hair turning red is when he could use fire all over his body but not being able to use his ice side, but the durability of fire is 2x than normal, and all this goes vice versa for his ice side. Speaking of, he leveled up his control, being able to make swords and chains of fire and ice. He create chains on his back, and he found out that he didn't need to touch the ground or anything to use his ice side. That's a bonus. For my own abilities I managed to create the technique Thunder God, which just works like OFA full cowling. I currently have well to gauge my strength. I would be able to take down either AFO or All Might now. I found out I can shoot my electricity like Kai, and I successfully copied both the Chidori and the racing in, making 4 tendrils on my back like Doc Ock and electric clones, and my own special technique. Actually all the electricity I absorb stays with my original stockpile, and I'll get it back by my natural stamina coming back. But not only that, but my technique is kinda as if someone were to punch me on my palm, I can turn my entire arm into electricity. And since electricity isn't solid, it passes through my hand, actually making a hole in my hand, so that basically means I can turn my body into electricity to avoid attacks. Since being able to turn myself into electricity, I could create matter and heal people like Overhaul, but I couldn't split like Overhaul, so I could theoretically heal All Might. That'd be good. Looking back on it, we trained out hard out and helped each other with our troubles, like Katsuki not yelling at everything to saying he valued his friendship with Shoto, and to even moving past Midoriya as he realized what he did wasn't heroic and just avoids Midoriya at school. Shoto can actually talk to people like a normal person and show emotion. I even let him on my secret of being from another world. Going to school, I'm going to say, for my entire life is boring since I know all the subject except for Japanese, and Katsuki helps me with that, but I managed to always keep in the top 3 with a girl with glasses and Katsuki in 2, while I outplace Midoriya for 3rd. A of entrance exam. Yue looks bigger in person, you know. I say to Katsuki, yeah, don't tell me you're nervous. Shoto already got his acceptance letter, now we need to pass the entrance exam. Katsuki replies with smirk. We walk through the gates and spot Midoriya about to fall, but to only be catched by Jiro. Seeing the interaction, we just walk past a stuttering Midoriya, leaving a final message. Hey Midoriya, you're here for a reason, right? So don't chicken out now. His head shifts to me, a determined nod. Grabbing me, Katsuki guides me from avoiding hitting other people, but this in turn make him bump into Uraraka, who soon fall. Katsuki blinking, then offering a hand. She grabs it and starts to apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Cutting her off, Katsuki tells her it was my fault. Don't apologize for something that wasn't your fault. And can I ask what your name is? Katsuki blushes. I smirk at him and he gives me a slight glare. Oh, my name's Ochako. Uraraka. What's your name? Katsuki. Bakugou. And my idiot brother Rai. I childlessly pout as we make our way to the auditorium. Idle chit chat going on with Katsuki and Uraraka. Katsuki with a big blush on his face enter the doors before we separate. Entering the auditorium doors, Katsuki give her one more message. Good luck. Well, it's not like you'll need it or anything. Good luck, Bakugou-kuns. I'll hopefully see you guys later. We'll catch you later, Uraraka-san. I say my goodbye. Katsuki, mounting his courage, says, I'll see you later. Walking into UA auditorium was surreal and reminded me where I was in the My Hero world. Walking to my spot 2232 was my seat next to Katsuki, and to his left was Midoriya checking the card in my hand. Battle Center C-Hub. Sitting in my seat, I find Midoriya scaling to stairs to reach his spot, Katsuki being a few steps behind him. Funny thing is that I never meet Midoriya either, so he doesn't know I'm Katsuki brother. Zoning out of my own thought, I see Present Mike stand on stage and begin explaining the practical portion of the test. It stayed true to canon. Handing us our test, I see stuff on algebra. I remember learning about algebra when I first got into high school. Finishing up the test relatively fast, but still got time for an extra snooze was nice. I start walking to the battle center I was sent to after talking with Katsuki about how he thought the tests were kinda easy, having being second in our grade will do that to you. No amount of humbling will change Katsuki drive. dressed in a tracksuit I bought on the way here. It's black with yellow on the sleeves. Me not really focusing on anyone else other than myself, I hear the start bell and run, enhancing my body to an equivalent power to full cowl 20%. Tuning out present mic scream of there is no start buzzer in real battles. I make my way to three-pointer and touch it, sucking the electricity out of the giant robot, making it fall over, proceeding to do the same the robots in the corner of the battle center. If I get in the way, there might be a character that is not in canon be in the class. With this on my thought, I turn my head to hear a big cry of people awe of the zero-pointer. Taking a chance, I yell at everyone to evacuate this place. They look at me, then at the robot. It started to hightail it out of here. More focused on helping people getting out of debris, I turn to see the zero-pointer foot ready to stomp me to dust. An aura of electricity explodes from me as it engulfs me, making a hand bigger than me by 2 times, throwing the giant robot, causing it to stagger back and back away a couple of its giant steps, getting the person out of the way before the zero-pointer come back. Present mic announces 30 seconds left. Do I go all out on one hand? I think I'll look cool. The second is I might fall unconscious due to expendage of energy. I could only hold this for 10 seconds, whatever. Taking a step back, I push off the ground and form wings on my back. Flying up, my electric aura starts to form into a big set of armor, Susanoo, forming the familiar titan of a avatar, punching the zero-pointer back and me repeating the process until I form a bow just as big as the avatar, shoots a bolt of lightning for an arrow, piercing the zero-pointer, making it fall on the ground helplessly. With all my energy used, and even a little more due to all the energy I absorbed, I fell, and I fell fast, my back facing the ground. I fall unconscious in the air. 3 p.m. I wake up in my room back at the warehouse and tired like all hell. I try getting up, yet I feel a pair of hands pushing me back down. I look over to see Shoto giving me a smile before him saying, "You should stay in bed." From what I heard from Katsuki, then you really went plus ultra in the entrance exam. I gave a sharp but tired chuckle. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to show off. I don't really want to do it since I want to kind of blend in, but I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, well, you're bedbound for the rest of the day. Hope you're happy. He gave me one of his old emotionless smiles. Yeah, kind of I want to go to sleep. Yeah, I'll go. I'll wake for dinner. We're making soba. Of course we are. I gave him a tired smile. Turn off the lights, please. Yeah, I got it. Him flicking the lights makes me remember how tired I am, and I fall right asleep. 2 weeks later, the long-awaited wait for our envelopes were well boring. We just trained like normal. Somi, Shoto, and Katsuki sit in the living room couch. I gesture for Katsuki to open his letter first, and he obliged. A disc flopping on the table and a ripped envelope on the side. A hologram of All Might appears on screen. I see both Katsuki and Shoto raise their eyebrows at me. Did you know this was going to happen? I just let out a nod and move one. All Might proceeds to go through his normal outgoing entrance before saying, "Katsuki, Bakugou, I am here to tell you your results. You young man have passed the written exam with a 95% on your test." All Might clears his throat. On the practical part of your exam, you were a true hero, not only defeating robots with finesse, experience, and skill, but also help people not only on the battlefield as well. We soon see a picture on the screen of Katsuki interaction with Uraraka, and looking to my right I see a teasing smirk on Shoto's face, and blushing one on Katsuki. He swiftly looks away, and we put our attention back on the screen. All Might continues to talk. "Young man, your actions and words pushed her to be better, but anyways, with 100 villain points and 25 hero points, you tie for first place with 125 points. He doesn't show us the leaderboard. Why, I don't know. You have passed, young Bakugou. Welcome to your Hero Academia." Katsuki face was well as anyone expected proud, and that went fast as he orders me to open my envelope to tell the old hag. I respond, "Yay." On it was when I ripped the envelope. Disc falling down and hologram popping up was no surprise to anyone anymore, but it still looks cool. Bakugou, I am here to tell you your results. You young man have passed the written exam with a 90%. Taking a breath, All Might says in his unyielding voice. On the practical part of the exam, you showed a diligence that all pro heroes have trouble keeping up with, but you had quite the showing, young man, with 85 villain points and 40 hero points. That takes you to a whooping total of 125 points and a tie with the other first place contestant. Welcome, young Rai, to your Hero Academia. Letting the hologram down, we just sat there until realization hit us like a wave from a tsunami. We passed and we're going to the same school. We cheered. 2 weeks later, heading to class on our train meet, Shoto and Katsuki got up early to get to class. As Katsuki would put it, we followed cause why not. We wanted to get up earlier to find the class. Getting to class at 7:40, there only seems to be a handful of students here like Momoya Irazu, Ida Tenya, Midoriya, and Kyokajiru. They seemed to be chatting, all of them standing up. We walked past, not wanting to interrupt their conversation. As we take to the left side of the room, the front desk is Katsuki, behind him is me, and behind me is Shoto. We just started having general chit-chat, and while our attention is on each other, our new classmates seem to spot us. Midoriya piped up first, wanting to greet us, but was stopped by Jiru giving a glare to Katsuki. I am seeing this from the corner of my eye. Quickly said, something, is something wrong? I asked it to be a question, but it came across Jiru's face as an attack. She lifts her finger at Katsuki. Yeah, there is a shit stain here. Jiru slowly raises her voice. Katsuki gives here a scowl in return. Before long, more and more classmates flood the room, filling all 21 seats. Wait, 21? There was only 20 before. Why add another one? I shake my head from my thoughts as Uraraka seems to arrive last and greets Midoriya, and dubbing him falling boy said boy blushed, and a stare was given from Jiru from a distance. Aizawa decides to cut in now. 8 seconds, that's how long it took you all to quiet yourselves. That isn't going to work out. This isn't for hanging out with friends. This is the hero course named Shouta Aizawa. Aizawa sensei will do now. Getting out of his sleeping bag and grabs a gym uniform from inside his sleeping bag, he continues. Go get changed, we're having a quirk apprehension test outside. Be quick, normally you won't have much time to suit up in real situations. He goes out of the room out to the field while holding a tablet. He looks back at the class, then loudly, well for him. Get moving, we don't got time to waste. With this, the students decided to file out the room, following Aizawa to the changing room. Walking into the field with Katsuki and Shoto being some of the first there, begin talking. Our teacher, have you ever heard of him? I question them to see if they know, though I don't know if they think I know or not. No, I don't. I heard that UA has pro heroes for staff, but what pro heroes? This, replied Shoto with his honest feeling on the events that transpired as of now. No I fucking idea, Katsuki bluntly states. Well, from what I've seen, he's the pro hero eraser head. His quirk is that it erases people quirks that are in his view of sight. It works on emitter and transformation type quirks, but not on mutant quirks. Quickly taking a breath, he uses that scarf around his neck to restrain enemies. Shoto bows. I raise my eyebrow in confusion, and he says thank you for the lesson in that even tone of his with a smile plastering his face. Fu, I quickly spat. Katsuki let out an amused puff of air that led us to him holding his mouth in laughter, wanting to spill out. Irritated, I look around to see most of our classmates already here. Waiting just a bit more, I see Aizawa setting up something on his phone while holding out a softball. During that, the last couple people arrived as he was finished. Alright Bakugou, what was your longest softball throw? Both me and Katsuki tilt our heads and both answer 70 meters. Everyone tilts their head while Midoriya looks shocked. That was Kachin's relative. This entire time I thought they were just friends. Aizawa seems to analyze the problem and clicks his tongue and throws the ball to Katsuki. Use your quirk to throw the ball as far as you can. Q cannon spiel of limiting people quirk usage at school to test power. Katsuki redies himself and keeps a concentrated explosion while holding the ball. He gets in a pitcher's stance and let it rip, exploding the ball forward in a line of concentrated explosion. Aizawa, after the ball hits the floor, shows everyone his score 2249.9. Everyone except me and Shoto scream. Me and Shoto just give him the other side of the field. You see a starstruck Midoriya and a mildly snarling Jiru. Why does a douchebag like him get all the attention? She looks over at Midoriya and blushes. Katsuki being stronger and having more techniques, and Shoto actually having developed in his fire and ice side is doing amazing and on track to even beat out Yaoyorozu. So am I actually. Midoriya being blown out of the way by a rushing Katsuki on the racetrack clenches his fist full of anger. I worked so hard just to get here, and here even Kachin still blowing me out of the water. Still I want no need to be the #1 hero. All Might entrusted me with one for all. Cause he thought I am worthy. I won't make him have second thoughts. Gritting his teeth and looking at Katsuki way, he unconsciously glares at him. Me, Shoto and Katsuki trying to stay in the race for endurance when we can all fly versus someone that can make a motorbike. Like what? The ball throw, we get back to this, and it happens to be Shoto's turn, and he turns full fire for this, charging his concentrated blast of fire like Katsuki gets a 1567.4, not as much distance but still packs a punch. My turn, I just create an electric bird and have it carry the ball, letting out an infinite score just like Uraraka. Then came up Midoriya. Once he got moving to the circle, our classmates started talking. So what's that guy's quirk? He hasn't been using it at all, exclaims Kaminari. Well, I remember he used it to punch the 0-pointer, but 3 of his limbs broke. Wait, seriously? Wow, I heard quirks that had drawbacks, but that's something else, Mina said with a starstruck expression. Yay, well, Izuku really hasn't used his quirk for long and his body is too weak for the full brunt of his power. He's been training pretty hard since I met him, Jiru says with honesty coating her voice. Midoriya, contemplating his options, tries to throw the ball with OFA, but it goes 48 meters. I erased your quirk. Were you planning to break your bones and have people save you again? There won't be a next time, especially on the field. We don't need someone with only 2 strong attacks and then he needs to be rescued. Aizawa said in the more threatening tone than in the anime. Why is that? Who knows? Midoriya takes a breath, throws and puts OFA in his finger, which was the last body part. To touch the ball with a smash, yelled. The ball flew till it hit the ground. I felt the wind pressure hit me and tried to keep dust out of my eyes while everyone stared in shock at the power and broken finger. Midoriya never showed signs of having a quirk, so why now? That's really convenient that he got a quirk just before the exams. I'll have to talk to him later about it. Katsuki, not really mad but more dumbfounded as he contemplated confronting Midoriya later after school, but shaked his head at the thought. We all finished the rest of the test and looking for our scores, I see I got first place while Shoto, having the more options than Katsuki, got second, leaving Katsuki in third and Yaoyorozu barely losing to Katsuki. Midoriya, looking to find his name on the 20th plate, he takes a gulp of fear and starts trembling and lets put a tear. Oh, by the way, it was just a logical deception to see everyone try their best, everyone except me. Katsuki, Shoto, and Yaoyorozu let out a gasp. Wait, did everyone think that he really would expel last place? I thought more people would have gotten it. No, I don't think you get it. Did you see last year's sports festival? I throw my head toward Aizawa. There was no class 1 of that year. Was that your class last year? Yes, they were my class. They simply had no potential. It's better to cut of a dream before it gets the person in hell. Class dismissed. It's lunchtime, handing Midoriya a nurse note. We walk to the cafeteria and we pick out our food and sit in a spot where one lonely person there we sit, me on the guy's right, Katsuki on my right, and Shoto in front of me. Hey, are these seats open? Senpai. I quickly deduce who this is and it's Tamaki Amajiki, who is trembling at the interaction. Oh, Susuri, they're open. No one sitting here. He says that last part a little dejectedly. Hey, are you alright? Wait, oh, I get you're really shy, aren't you? Well, the name's Rai Bakugou, my brother over there. I point at Katsuki. Is Katsuki Bakugou, and the one across from me pointing at Shoto, and he gives a smile and a wave. Is Shototodoroki. Nice to meet you. Amajiki trembles a bit before he starts thinking, these people, who are they? They're so young yet they're so confident. Maybe if I stick around them I'll gain their confidence, like how Fat Gum's been trying to help me with. Tamaki Amajiki, managing to say his name full, startled them, but these 3 just seemed to radiate confidence, especially Rai was his name. Yeah, he's really cute. Amajiki blushes while shaking my hand. Me catching him blushing made me think, wonder what's that about? Wait, is he embarrassed that he can't really say sentence without stuttering? I clear my throat. Well, Tamaki senpai, which course are you in? All of our attention shifted onto the shy raven-haired guy, him blushing cause I called him his given name. I'm a 3rd year hero course student. That's really cool. We're just in the 1st year hero course actually. Also sorry for calling you your given name. I gave off a sheepish expression. No, it's fine. It marks our friendship, doesn't it? Guess you're right. Oh wait, Tamaki senpai, I wanted to ask, would you like to hang out with us after school today? I don't have anything to do. At what time exactly? Well, like right after school. Me and my friends want to get to know you. Katsuki shrugged his shoulders while Shoto responded. Yes, I could use more friends other than the Bakugou family. They might rot my brain. Me not bothering to answer, knowing who would answer but taking attention away. By the way, you can call us our first names as well. Alright, Rai-san. Tamaki blushes but sounding feminine in a way. Shaking my head I respond. No need for the formalities, you know. Tamaki blushes harder. Rai, I laugh and Tamaki laughs too. Me and the boys have been trying to get Tamaki out and play at the arcades. It went fine until Katsuki started raging out. He rarely does it anymore, but it's a funny sight. But Tamaki saw something different. He remembered a memory from the distant past. He trembles at the memory. It asks to be excused and heads to the bathroom. It's a single bathroom with only a toilet and sink. He begins to rest easy his breathing and sat on the toilet, stripping his shirt to reveal wrappings on his chest. Beginning to cry, he let his head down, cowering under his own fear just because something reminded him of that. 20 minutes passed like this. Me, Katsuki, and Shoto started to get worried after a while. He didn't come back. Here, you guys play. I'll go find him, see if he's still in the bathroom. It's been a long time. Tamaki, wrapped in his thoughts, couldn't remember if he locked the door. At that moment the door opens to see a half-drunken man walk in, smelling of alcohol, slurring on his words. Well, look at this cutie. Why don't you give this little guy a taste? The man takes of his pants to reveal half-ripped briefs. Tamaki, frozen in fear, freezes. What are you doing? Just staring. Do something. I'm sure you'll like it. He grabs the wrappings and rips it off his bandages to reveal a modest C-cup breast reaching out to fondle them. He didn't have the foresight to see a fist coming at his face courtesy Rai Bakugou, and a pissed one at that I begin to wail on the man and proceed to throw him out, locking the door. "Hey, you okay, Tamaki-senpai?" The now revealed girl jumps and holds his arm and cries. We stay there for another 10 minutes. I text the boys in ours group chat that something bad happened, but I took care of it. They shouldn't have to worry. "Tamaki, is there something you want to tell me? You can." When I was a kid, I got raped. She cries harder on my shoulder. Me being smaller than her, be damned, she needed help. Me getting the full picture, only wanted to protect her, but I knew that was the wrong way, so that's why you wanted to become a hero. Huh, that's amazing, you're amazing, Tamaki. She blushes. "No, I'm not, I froze. No good." Hero freezes, depressed as all hell. "That only means that you can only go up from there. Then you wanna extend our little hangout section to a sleepover at my house." Tamaki blushes once more, finding another person to believe in her, making another friend, and helping her wanted to make her cry tears of happiness. But she needed to be strong, she needed to be Sun Eater, a true hero. "Here, let me text my parents real quick." Tamaki proceeds to send a text message and got a reply quite fast, like really fast. Well, I step out of the bathroom to give her room. "Hey, I'll tell the guys we all live together in a warehouse I own." A pause, then a smirk. "Go steal the other guy's tickets. I'll get you something." To Tamaki, "Just take your time, okay?" She laughs, this time way more feminine now that I heard it. She just deeps her voice at school. "See ya." Going to Katsuki and Shoto to see them playing a piano game, and Will Katsuki raging out again. "How TF are you so good at these stupid games?" Katsuki yells. A brief chuckle comes from me as their attention snaps to me. "So how is he?" Katsuki asks. "Yay, what happened to Tamaki?" Shoto responded. "Oh, I'm right here." Voice a higher pitch turns my attention to the now bandage-less Tamaki. "Wait, you're a girl?" Both Katsuki and Shoto were dumbstruck. They didn't even have a clue. "Yes, well, did you tell them yet?" "No, I was going to, though. It's better you're here now. We's having a sleepover." Shoto nods. Katsuki gives a shrug and releases an amused puff of air. Tamaki just chuckles. We walk till we get to the train and get off at our stop. We're still in Mustafa. We enter through the door to open into a living space, and we talk about what happened to say Katsuki. Shoto was pissed was an understatement, but we managed to calm them down, and I told her my story. After all that, I brought an extra futon and put it on the floor of my room and proceed to get in it. "Wait, I can't take your bed," Tamaki exclaimed. "It's fine, just take it. I already got inside the futon and I don't want to leave lazy," she says and giggles. Tamaki was wearing a shirt of mine while also a pair of shorts. "Don't pay attention to the tight shirt and go to sleep, Rai." Exchanging this day for our rest day on our training schedule before Shoto goes to sleep and spots my door open to see me and Tamaki sleeping peacefully. He closes the door softly and treks to his room and go to sleep himself. Waking up tomorrow and fixing Tamaki's clothing from the dryer this morning while also giving her bandages, but she threw it aside. "I'm done hiding myself from the world. I want to shine just like the sun," hugging me unexpectedly, causing me to blush. "Hey lovebirds, breakfast's ready," Katsuki yelled and came walking out of the kitchen. Shoto wanted to cook today. Throwing his thumb at Shoto, we moved to the dining room to a table with 4 spaces. That's when something unexpected came. "Can I move?" and she says shyly. I gave her a shocked stare, but threw a thumbs up while gesturing to the others, who got over their shocked face and accepted. "But that also means you joining in on training. Quirk strengthening training usually on Mondays and Thursdays, physical training on Tuesdays and Fridays, and quirk technique training on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and we have Sundays off 5 p.m. 8 p.m. Katsuki lectured. "Right," Tamaki said, emanating a fire in her eyes. "A drive, not many. Have we need your parents' input on this though? Can we come over to your home?" "Sure, right, we should eat. We're gonna be late." We eat our breakfast ready for the next day of school. 7:50 UA. Getting to school at 7:50, we say goodbye to Tamaki and walk to our class. Most of the people being there, we make our way to our seats and chill till a certain peace symbol comes into the room. "I am here, ha 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 ha. Holy crap, it's All Might. He smells heroic." Takoyami says, "Wow, he looks cooler in person." Zero with his shocked looking face. "So cool," Uraraka exclaimed with a shocked face. All Might clears his throat. "Hello students, we are going to be having battle training." I hear Midoriya's gulp while Katsuki smirks and almost everyone else tenses. "Meet me in battle center, everyone, and make sure you use your costumes." He pointed to his left where briefcases pushed out of the walls. Getting number 18 briefcase of the wall, me, Katsuki and Shoto walk to the locker room, get changed, and make it to the observation room before everyone other than All Might. They say clothes make the heroes, and I have to say you all look quite good. "Thanks, All Might." I rub the back of my head sheepishly. My costume is basically as similar to Midoriya's world mission outfit, just change the green for yellow that get bright when I use my quirk like a light bulb. I have iron boots as well, this all mixed with my DNA. Katsuki has his joint training arc hero costume. The only difference is his costume has his DNA, so he could use his explosion all over his body without blowing off his clothes. Shoto also has his world hero's hero costume. I had to keep the hood, it looked nice, and Shoto costume is also laced in his DNA and made by the same stuff as his original costume, making it take a lot more fire or ice to burn or freeze of the consume. Soon people became filling and no one except us changed our outfits from canon and we move on. All Might coughs to get everyone attention. Hello students, you all look quite dapper. We are having a battle, trail heroes versus villains. You'll be separated into teams of 2 and 1 team with 3. The people facing the team of 3 will have a disadvantage, but you can't people to play fair. The teams are izukumidoriya and Ochako Uraraka, Team A, shototodoroki, Rai Bakugou and Mizo Shoji, Team B, Momoye Urazu and Minoru Minerda, Team C, Katsuki Bakugou and Tenya Ida, Team D, Yuga Aoyama and Mina Ashido, Team E, Rikido Sato and Koji Koda, Team F, Denki Kaminari and Kyoyuka Jiro, Team G, Fumikage Takoyami and Tsuyu Asui, Team H, Nishirawa Jiro and Toru Hagakure, Team I, Jiro Kirishima and Hanta Siro. Matches: Team A versus Team D, Team B versus Team I versus Team J, Team G versus Team C, Team E versus Team F. Any questions? All Might finally put down the piece of paper he read off of. And while no one had any questions on the exercise, some had for All Might for the piece of paper he stashed in a costume that has no pockets. I'm not sure we've met before, but my name is Ida Tenya, offering Katsuki a handshake. Katsuki forms a fist and presses it against his palm. Your way to stiff, dude, you need to chill out, we're classmates not businessmen. Katsuki Bakugou, by the way. Ida, realizing this, blushes from embarrassment but bounced back. Bakugou-kun, can you inform me of your quirk? I managed to see it lets you use explosions from your palms. No, you're not entirely right. My quirk is I sweat a nitroglycerin type of sweat and can use flares to cause the explosion, and it's not just on my hands, I can use it all over my body. The sweatier I get, the bigger the explosion, so I can be classified as an endurance fighter. From what I see from your quirk is that your thighs have engine in them, making you go faster. Yes, that's basically it. What do you think we should do to trick these heroes? Bakugou-kun, I have a feeling Midoriya might think I'll rush in alone, but how about you go at them? Me? Yeah, I'll go to the entrance while you fight them. If you can hold out long enough for me to get to the battle, I could land a sneak attack or capture one of them. But what about the bomb? Bakugou-kun, the bomb, we're gonna need a good hiding spot, maybe just on the 5th floor and on one of the corners, preferably behind the building, right? 5 min later. Heroes, you may enter the building, All Might said from the earpiece. Katsuki secretly jumping to ground level, run discreetly following Midoriya and Uraraka. I thought Kacchan would have attacked us already. I know I haven't known Bakugou for long, but he seems like a nice guy. Him nice ... not that nice. Ida charges at the pair when they reach the 3rd floor, making it to the other side of the hallway before starting a villainous rant on how smart and villainous he is. Katsuki manages to sneak up on both Uraraka and Midoriya due to Midoriya overthinking and Uraraka snickering at Ida not being able to contain her laughter. Katsuki tied the capture tap on his left and right arm without them noticing tying the knot. The match was announced over young Uraraka and young Midoriya. You have been captured. Villain team wins. With their attention away from Ida, they look at their tied arms. How? He looks behind him to see Katsuki back to him heading down the building. Midoriya gives Katsuki a nasty glare to his back while Uraraka, starstruck, someone managed to sneak up on both of them while a slight brush of red hue on her cheeks. Same time at observation room when Katsuki captured the heroes. Most everyone was shocked over the whole thing other than Shoto and All Might, though he looked really impressed by Katsuki. All Might winning without even having to throw a punch, that's insane. Urazu said, shocked as everyone else. That isn't manly at all. Kirishima let out. Young Kirishima, although it is not manly, he was playing a villain and villain really aren't manly, but winning without having to throw a punch is very impressive, especially since heroes are there to contain destruction, not make more. Katsuki and Ida got to the observation room followed by a heavily downcast Midoriya and bummed out Uraraka. Katsuki heading to Uraraka before us, he tells her, hey, this is your first time, you'll get better at being a hero, that's why we're here, and I'll give you a match if you really want. Uraraka took this to heart and gave Katsuki a smirk. I won't be this easy to beat next time, Bakugou-kun. Katsuki returned to his place beside us, people starting to crowd us. Student, I wanted to know who you all thought was the MVP of the last match, All Might said, getting everyone's attention and sending Midoriya a sympathetic look. Well, not to state the obvious, but it was Bakugou-kun. Being able to win without throwing a single attack and with teamwork made a good strategy against their opponents. Yeah, Urazu said. All Might nods and says the next team's Team B and Team I. It's your time to shine. 10 min later. Are we ready to go? All Might Sensei? Yes, you may commence. Young Bakugou. Hearing this, our plane commences. Shoji with his enhanced hearing can hear their floor and room while he tells me and Shoto the room there, and we fly in and Shoto freezes the floor from outside the room. They're in floor 3, the room on the very left. Shoji responded after searching with his quirk. Right, let's go. Shoto just nods and we walk to the right side of the building. Shoto flies up with his fire, and I fly like Nejire Hado would with the coils on my feet. We find the room outside the building hovering next to the window. Shoto touches his right arm on the wall, freezing Hagukure and Ajiro in their steps. We break the window and get inside to touch the bomb, ending the match. Lunchtime. Me, Shoto, Katsuki, and surprisingly Kirishima. You're Kirishima, right? I questioned, knowing the answer already. Yeah, that's me, and I was hoping to be friends with you guys. Of course you can. You're actually the first person in our class to come up to us. Actually, wait, really? Yeah, I kinda get it. We seem unapproachable at a distance. Oh well, you guys did really good in the battle trail, like I mean aced it. If you don't mind me asking, how'd you guys get so strong? I look between Shoto and Katsuki and we all answer his question. Training I pick up. We might have amazing quirks. Shoto picks it up. We trained our ass off just to get one step closer to our dream. Katsuki picks it up as well. It doesn't matter if you have a flashy quirk or not. Heroes are here to save people, and battling villains is the side part of the job that glorifies the heroes. Kirishima with his mouth open in utter shock. So you're saying I could be a good hero even with this quirk? He hardens his arm and turns it off. Katsuki scoffs. Well, you never will get better if you don't start training your quirk. If you're serious about training, then you can join us in training. Wait, really? Kirishima brightens up. Katsuki nods, flashing a smirk. I want to tell you though, it's gonna hurt and beat you up. Are you willing to train to be better? Take all this pain to be a better hero? Yes, I want to stop being helpless. I want to help people. Kirishima explains his terrifying experience against the villain. Ishido lied too, saying he wanted to help but he felt helpless. Katsuki compares the story to slime villain incident and shared how he felt and how I helped him and walk this new path that makes him want to just try harder to become the best. Kirishima, his attention goes to me. I see you're serious about this. We usually train 5 p.m. 8 p.m. in the warehouse I own. Do you want to tag along after school? Or want us to send you the directions? Can I tag along? Sure. Shoto nods and Katsuki gives a fiery smirk. Get ready to be my victim, Ijiro. I'm so beating you at the arcade. Oh, is that a challenge? I'll let you know, Katsuki. I have some experience and won't lose. He gives him a determined smile. I start to chuckle while Shoto just smiles at his food. As we start to get in a rhythm, we see Tamaki with a girl's uniform now on, heading over her with 2 other people. Both are recognizable. They're Mirio Tagata and Nejire Hado, the other members of the Big 3. Hey Tamaki, how's it going? It's been good. I've been able to talk to more people without stumbling as much, Mirio exclaimed as he saw us. Wow, so you guys are the ones that helped Tamaki about her situation. Name's Mirio Tagata. Oh, my name's Nejire Hado, and wow, is your hair half white and red because of your quirk? Same with the one with the white lightning bolt on your head. Nejire bounced around us, me chucking and answering her questions. Yes, for the both of us, but my name's Rai Bakugou. Just call me Rai. Name's Katsuki Bakugou, and I'm going to become the #1 hero. Mirio laughed, a feisty one. My name is Shototodoroki. My name's Ijiru. Kirishima, nice to meet you. Hello Kirishima, nice to meet you. My name's Tamaki Amajiki. After school, the 5 of us went to another arcade, having no better way to spend time, and while Ijiru mainly beat Katsuki, he got a lucky win in the Hero Showdown arcade game. After wasting an hour, we start to head over to where the Amajiki household is. It was Mustafa actually, so it didn't take us long. 3 days later, Friday, a normal school day, but this was unexpectedly the time for a class rep, which actually was Ida and Yaoyorozu with me, and Katsuki picking Ida and Shoto picking Yaoyorozu, avoiding getting picked ourselves. Lunchtime. Finishing our lunch, me, Katsuki, Shoto, and Ijiru in the corner of the room, stuck getting slammed by people trying to move to the opposite side of the building, Ijiru getting dragged with them. Me, Katsuki, and Shoto managed to survive and end up in a hallway with no one, which was the teacher's hallway, mostly used by teachers, hence the name. We see someone walk out of one of the rooms. Oh, it seems I've been caught, but I'm sure the world won't mind me killing 3 NPC. Him rushing at us at startling speed. I run to meet him and he grabs me, all 5 finger on my fist as nothing happens. Wakatsuki takes this chance to blow him out of the building, shredding his hoodie, him being visible, his long shaggy hair in the wind. Shigaraki Akatenko Shinura. A black portal appears behind him as 5 villains pop out the portal as Shigaraki makes his escape but is stopped by electric chains. You aren't going anywhere. Katsuki blast off, attacking 3 villains while me and Shoto incapacitated the 2 other fodder villains, where Shoto shoots a fireball. Said fireball got sucked into the black portal as another appeared right in front of us. Not reacting in time, the fireball flew at us until Ijiru from out of nowhere tanks the hit and stumbles, but catches himself. Me and Shoto catch him as the portal envelopes Shigaraki, teleporting him, but not without last words. Maybe you're not NPC after all, I'll see you in the battlefield, hero. Disappearing from sight, we huddle the 5 villains and create an electric tendril to hold them as Aizawa seems to notice us. Not in his class, came looking for us, and he did in fact find us. You 4, did you encounter the villain that decayed the wall? Yeah, we did, and a portal type quirk villain. He managed to teleport Shoto attack to hit us. If Ijiru didn't come at the last moment, we'd be a little hurt, I responded. You 4 go to the infirmary, I'll take these villains to the police, right? My reply brought a smile to his face. You 4 handled yourselves well, thanks sir. I carried Ijiru piggyback while Shoto and Katsuki are by my sides. We make it to Recovery Girl's infirmary. She healed Ijiru while also giving each one of us a smack with her cane. After that we were dismissed. In Class 1 we make it to see President Mike teaching the class. He stops when hearing the door open to show me, Katsuki, Shoto, and Ijiru. Ida, being the class president, asks us where we've been as we lost precious class time. Katsuki answer him, we got attacked by villains that seemed to quiet everyone as they soon jumped and screamed, you guys fought villains. They all said to variety of volume, some screamed while some were just worried. Hiroraka walked from her seat to Katsuki and asked him, are you alright Bakugo-kun? They didn't hurt you, did they? No, the only one injured was Ijiru, but he acted pretty heroic, jumping in at the last second. Katsuki smirks at him, then back to a frown, but we managed to capture the main villain's reinforcements as he got away by his partner using his quirk to reflect Shoto fireball back at them, hitting Ijiru as he took the hit. 2 days later, everyone suit up, we're going to the USJ for rescue training. Aizawa spoke as he walks away from the door. Everyone gets their briefcase and change in the changing room. Eventually everyone makes it to the bus. Looking up in the sky, I imagine how more the future will change with my being here. I lift my hand to the sky and clench my hand. No matter what the future holds, I'll protect my loved ones. The bus trip to the USJ would only be 20 minutes from what Aizawa sensei said, so taking a seat next to Ijiru in the back followed by Katsuki and Shoto, I brought up Ijiru's progress. You're getting stronger fast, Ijiru, but what also happens is that you lose the fast progress for slow progress. Later on you'll grow slower. I finished talking when the bus started moving. Asui, wanting to break the silence, asked a question. Hey you guys, do you guys know where we're going? Asui question brought conversation to the almost silent bus. Katsuki answered her question directly. Aizawa sensei said it's a place for rescue training, so it probably kind of like Universe Studios Japan. To answer your question, Katsuki eyes move away at discomfort as he never really talked to many people his age other than his friends. You think so, Bakugo-chan? Maybe you're pretty on the ball with these things. Katsuki just nods and enjoys the city view. Hey Bakugo-chan, can I ask you a question? Katsuki took a second to answer but eventually did. Sure, turning his attention to Asui. How did you meet Todoroki-chan? Katsuki gave a look at Shoto, who just nodded as it wouldn't hurt anyone really. We meet right after. He pauses. He tilts his head at me and I nod. My mom adopted Rai. The bus got quiet. Suo, how do you and Rai meet? Then Kaminari bring the one that broke the ensuing silence. He helped me when I got attacked by a villain I couldn't beat. Rai got me out and bought enough time for All Might to save us. After that he followed me and asked to stay at my mom's place. Most people at that looked at Rai strangely as he just looked away, knowing how weird it was in the first place. Rai never got registered as a citizen of Japan as he was born unconventionally. Katsuki starting the convenient story we made as we can't really say I got struck by God and say this place was an anime, could I? My mom adopted him and he got registered citizenship. After that we meet Shoto when we went to get ice cream a few hours after and we became friends. Katsuki finished up. That's quite the story. Bakugo-chan, how long was this ago? This was at least 10 months ago. You ever heard the slime villain incident? Katsuki let it sit in the air before continuing. Without Rai or Shoto's help I wouldn't be half as strong as I am now. Katsuki looked away. A blush covered his cheeks as he spit his guts. Alright, we're here, let's get inside. Aizawa orders. In an orderly fashion if possible. Ida backs up Aizawa sensei, though not like he needs it. Stepping inside we get introduced to the space hero. 13 Hiroraka immediately seeing her freaks out as she's a huge fan, but other than her introduction nothing changed. Aizawa looking at the plaza sees a purple portal. Wait, it's the guys that snuck into UA and he seems to be here as well. Thinking of the blue-haired man with hands all over his body using one as a mask. Wasn't All Might supposed to be here? Well, if he isn't here maybe he'll come if we kill a couple of kids. Oh, it's them Kirigiri. When you spread the student bring those 4 to the middle, snarling it presumably at the 4 student who interfered with his clean escape. Aizawa planning to jump into the fray of villains is stopped by one Midoriya question. Aizawa-sensei, can you handle all of them? You usually track villains and use surprise attacks. Aizawa looks back at Midoriya and puts his googles on. A hero can't afford to be a one-trick pony. With those words said, he rushed down the stairs and jumped to kick a villain in the head before binding another one and throwing a punch, knocking that villain unconscious. Back at the entrance, 13 has taken charge and ordered for everyone to evacuate until a purple mist appears blocking the way. I'm sorry, young heroes, but do any of you know where the symbol of peace is? We are the League of Villains and we are here to kill All Might. Midoriya currently has his mind thinking, if they think they could kill All Might, then they must have a secret. Katsuki and Shoto having similar thoughts. 13 wasn't fast enough as more than half the class disappears. Midoriya blinks as he's in water, seeing a villain with a shark-like quirk swim at you just to be kicked away by Asui at the last second, pulling him on the boat where Mineta was already there. Coughing water, Midoriya gains his bearings and looks at his allies and asks a question. Hey, what are your guys' quirks? Asui immediately answer, well, my quirk is self-explanatory. I can do whatever a frog could do and my rouge could extend 20 meters. Asui finished up as her fingers left her chin, her previous thinking pose. My quirk is called Pop Off. I can take these sticky ball on my head to stick them to walls and the floor or people. If I use too many, I start to bleed from my head. Both Midoriya and Asui just stare at him. Why are you guys just staring at me like that? Mineta said as he starts to cry. I didn't think we'll be fighting villains. We're still just kids. Mineta cried as he looked at the villains in the water. Are you sure you're in the right course, Kiro? Midoriya bringing his attention to Asui. They clearly don't know our quirks or else they wouldn't have brought Asui to the shipwreck zone. An idea popped in Midoriya's head. I've got an idea. He gets both of their attention as they were previously talking about Mineta wanting girls or about him dying when he'd still in high school. I jump off the boat and create wind pressure from the flick of my fingers while Asui jumps across the water to the plaza. Mind you throw your balls so the villains get stuck to them. The plan commences and happens. They land just at the end of the shipwreck zone style, waist deep in water. They see Katsuki, Shoto, Rai, Ijiru and Aizawa-sensei knocking down villain one by one. A villain getting a hit of one of the students once in a while, but mostly on Ijiru, but he makes a great defense. Midoriya unconsciously clenches his hand to make a fist in his growing frustration at his childhood friend turned bully's progress. While Midoriya still seems at the start line, he starts giving a subtle glare each time his eyes visit Katsuki. Shigaraki looking for any more enemies in the immediate area, but sees 3 students too terrified while one glaring holes at his classmate. That kid, I can tell, he's suffered from society just like me. I can see it in his eyes. Shigaraki smiles, but you couldn't see it through the mask. Having a third more troops in the middle instead of the wasteland zone or whatever they called it had the teacher and his 4 students working as a team quite well, especially those 3. Shigaraki rushes at Aizawa with almost everyone occupied. They had their little scuffle while Shigaraki found how long he could keep his eyes open, having decayed his elbow skin off Aizawa before being pinned by the Namu, immediately taking Aizawa down. Taking down all the fodder villains only to see the 3 main villains over Aizawa's body as his bones were getting snapped. Regrouping, the 4 students analyzed the situation before blasting off Katsuki at Shigaraki while me, Shoto, and Ijiru at the Namu. Charging up to full power, I launch myself at the Namu, punching him across the plaza. I put my hand on Aizawa and I pump electricity in his body, fixing him like he never got hurt. He stutters to gets up, but he does. He looks at himself, then grabs the scarf that was splayed of the floor, setting it on his shoulders. We look at the Namu, who was encased in ice courtesy of Shoto, but even then it broke out of it even though there was some struggle. Me, Shoto, Aizawa-sensei, and Ijiru get ready to fight the Namu, where the All Might Buster was crowned by Shigaraki. Over with Katsuki, he's playing with Shigaraki. Each time he finds an opening on the kid and he goes to touch him, he explodes. Katsuki explosive skin technique helping him survive, even dominate the battle, until Kurogiri interrupts the confrontation. Tamura, one of the children, managed to escape. Oh Kurogiri, if you weren't our escape route, I'd so dust you. Shigaraki snarls. Katsuki focuses on his opponents until he sees a metal neck brace on Kurogiri. Katsuki smirks as he gets into another stance before shooting explosions from his feet, charging at Shigaraki. As Aizawa finally finished his testing of his motor functions, runs as Shigaraki himself. Midoriya, finally broken from his idle staring of the situation, gets called by Rai. Midoriya get to the entrance. Midoriya having second thoughts, rushes at the Namu wanting to help and not be a burden, but turns to Asui and Mineta to tell them to go to the entrance while he backs up the others. Midoriya runs to his classmates in order to help and support, but gets caught as the Namu manages to separate it from the battle with Rai. The Namu threw a punch at Midoriya's head. Everything was slowed as people saw the fist get closer and closer to Midoriya's face. Crack! Midoriya on the floor flopped over, being pushed out the way of the punch, only to see Rai shoulder the punch, sending him skidding on the floor, hitting the wall with a boom, making a crater as Rai falls on his face unconscious. Rai, a collective scream from Shoto, Katsuki and Ijiru. Katsuki, still focusing on his battle, batted a tear away before showing rage. Rage, a feeling Shoto Todoroki rarely feels, if at all, but seeing his best friend flop on the floor, something exploded. Shoto's hair changed. Instead of the normal half hot or cold or full hot or cold hair, there is a spiral pattern of red and white. Fire engulfs Shoto as you could only see his outline. Everyone stopped once more, and having no one order the Namu, it stopped as well. Everyone awestruck of the heat emanating from Shoto. Shoto, already feeling the burn, makes his solution and creates an ice suit with horns coming from the top and all around him except his hand and feet, which were still burning red hot. With the ice covering his body, continuously regulates itself, and in the eye holes you only see fire radiating from them. Shigaraki, finished watching the students' transformation, ordered the Namu kill them all. All Ijiru and Midoriya can do is watch in awe as the battle that transpires while Aizawa tries to wrap his scarf on Shigaraki. But a portal opened up and he saw his own scarf come at him. He dodged and kept his momentum as he ran at Shigaraki, while Katsuki shot a condensed explosion on the neck brace, it being very weak, just to stun not kill. Katsuki, now being exhausted, only comes and helps as a support as Aizawa battles Shigaraki, either unable to get a deciding shot. The slugfest between Shoto and the Namu continued as Shoto ever landed a hit, it would melt the Namu's skin. While Shoto had been trying to avoid getting hit, he got hit once, thankful to avoiding the same fate as Rai, as he built spikes of ice to protect him while also hurting the Namu. If Shoto's being honest, he can't keep expelling this much of his quirk as he's reaching his limit. The entrance door fly open as All Might finally arrives. There is no need to fear, because I am here. All Might's smile was no longer on his face as smoke emanated from the destroyed entrance doors. At the scene, quickly defeating all the fodder recovering from their previous bout with the teacher and student combo, while also punching the Namu off the ice armor with a vengeance. All Might quickly deducing it to be Shoto. He found Rai unconscious, bleeding from most places inside and outside young Todoroki. Shoto attention was taken of the recovering Namu to All Might, not even noticing him first enter. I've got this villain, young Todoroki. You get the rest of the student out of the plaza. Shoto powers down to his normal half red and white hair as he goes to Katsuki, and after that he goes to Ijiru and Midoriya. Giving Midoriya a glare, Shoto roughly grabs his hand, gets him of the floor, and throws his hand in the direction of the stairs as he and Katsuki get Rai and run up the stairs as well. While All Might only saw this Namu battle against young Todoroki for a minute at most, he could see what this beast had: super strength, speed, shock absorption, and regeneration. Aiming on the shock absorption factor as its not nullification, he overwhelms the Namu, knocking it out of the dome while still having at least 5 minutes until his time's up. Shigaraki meanwhile watches as the Namu gets sent outside the down, spurring his decision. We're leaving Kurogiri, we can't win, not as we are now. Shigaraki knew this was the right call even if it hurt. He kicks Eraserhead, leaving him surprised as he usually only attacks with his hands as Kurogiri surrounds him. This isn't over, symbol of peace, he screeched as the purple portal disappears, with him disappearing as well. The heroes all appear at the entrance as an ambulance came as well, escorting Rai to Recovery Girl's office. Waking up, Rai feels heavy, not so much his stamina or electricity being used but his injuries. He pumps over 25% into fixing his injuries. As of right now he has about 50% out of his total. I get up from the bed to see a bed soloed by curtains all over. It seemed to be talking about how if it wasn't for me or Shoto, All Might's timer would have went down. I sigh, it's now or never. I create a katana of electricity and open the curtain to see the shocked faces of All Might and Recovery Girl. I point the katana at All Might. He doesn't seem to be injured but resting in a chair. Time freezes as the katana shined. All Might stares at me and I dispel the katana and relax my arm. Instead I jump over the bed, and as All Might stands from his chair I palm his weak spot, putting the electricity in his body, recreating his lost organ. Suddenly All Might buffs up one more time, but this time he looks better as if he were still in his prime. His sudden surprise isn't as much as Recovery Girl's screams. After they calm down I explain my ability to regen, and there was the question of how did he know where All Might got the scar. As well as I try to summarize it, it's basically I got sent here by God cause he killed me and wanted to apologize. This world in my old world was a popular shounen manga and anime. As for why I pointed a katana at All Might's head, it's because it's my mission I finish up. You need to kill me for your mission. Why? All Might's question renders through my head. If I kill you and All for One, then I get to go home. The sudden announcement that All for One is alive makes All Might eyes widen. So All for One is still alive. This is more troublesome than I thought. All Might puts his hand on his chin. "Oh yes, thank you for healing me," he told me as he took his hand off his chin. "Yeah, well, you're a hero. I can't really kill a hero. I'm stuck here, remembering something. All Might, you might want to go to the gym and gain muscle mass to lost from your injury, though congrats, you have no more time limit." All Might thanked me again with an amazing smile. I soon leave the room, leaving All Might and Recovery Girl performing a checkup on All Might. I checked the clock to see it was 2 p.m. so we still had class, so I went to my class to see Aizawa-sensei teaching his heroics laws to class. When I walk in the class as it went silent in my arrival, I see Katsuki, Shoto and Nejiru get up from their seat and hug me. "Sorry for making you guys worry," Aizawa deciding to cut this short gestures for the kids to go back to their seats as we finish the class. Normally in canon the day was over during the school day. In this version, only me being hurt really badly is why they didn't stop the classes this time around. After class, we all filed outside the room, usually heading to where we always meet Tamaki, but she seems to be joined with Mirio and Nejire this time. As soon as Tamaki spots us, she runs up to me and cries after hearing about what happened. "I was so worried you didn't get out okay, Rai, since you took most of the brutal damage," she finishes as I dry her tears. "Hey, it's alright, I'm here for the long haul." I press my forehead on hers as I see her start to blush up a storm, causing me to blush as well. I took my forehead and brought it back so I stood up straight as we soon walk onward. 2 weeks after USJ. Walking in the classroom, I, Katsuki and Shoto head to our seats as more and more people run into the class, barely making it before the bell rang. Hearing the bell, we see our one and only teacher Shouta Aizawa, him walking to stand on the lecture pole. He coughs to get everyone's attention. After getting it, he chooses to speak. "Now quiet down already, your battle is not over yet." At that, everyone tenses. "Well, those that don't know, the sports festival is coming in 2 weeks. The sports festival is here," he said in that unenthusiastic tone he usually rocks with. After this though, the day seemed to pass by, and before I know it, it's already lunchtime. Sitting down at the table we usually sit at, the seats normally filled with Katsuki, Shoto and Nejiru. Us four really been closer after the USJ, me starting the conversation. "Hey Shoto, did you get that transformation of yours to activate, or did you make a breakthrough?" "Yay Shoto, seeing you at the USJ fighting that Namu thing that was almost on All Might level was insane." Nejiru says cheerfully, "I've been working on it. I can use both fire and ice on both sides, and I'm trying to make it so I can always use ice and fire on both sides without the transformation of my hair, since it just combines my full fire and ice forms with both immunities. I'm trying to control that new form before the whole covering myself in fire, then over it ice." Shoto explains. "That's so like Shoto, he works on control first before power." I snicker as we start heading to class to chill. After eating our food, there was still 30 minutes before class. All Might suddenly appears. "Young Rai is here," turning all of our attention to him. "Young Rai, may I speak with you?" All Might's deep voice cut through the hallway. "Can I take my friends with me? If I know where this is going, I'd like them having context on the situation. And before you say they are very trustworthy and real friends." With the little speech I gave him, All Might decided to bring them along to his office to see Jiru and Midoriya eating their lunch on his couch. Jiru and Midoriya, upon seeing Katsuki, lightly glare at him, this not really moving him. We just stand behind the couch as it only fits 3. "Why is the shit stain here?" Jiru broke the silence by throwing an insult at Katsuki. Katsuki merely rolls his eyes. "Well, I wanted to tell them about the origin of One for All." Jiru and Midoriya just look on with shocked faces, while my little group of people look with mild confusion. I deciding to fill in, "It's All Might's quirk, it can be passed on. All Might's the 8th user while Midoriya's the 9th. Them nodding in understandment, we continue. All Might going on about how it was created. Most people in the room shocked, or to Katsuki and Shoto just surprised. All for One saying the name made Jiru and Midoriya look at me, even more surprise etched on their faces. "So All Might, you feeling well and getting your muscle back?" After what I said, he began to laugh with vigor, exclaiming, "I haven't felt this good in years, young Rai, and still think I owe you for treating me." All Might bellowed out. "Wait, All Might, I just noticed you've been in your buff form all this time. You got healed," Midoriya says, and to respond, All Might undoes his suit and raises his shirt, a no longer ugly scar that used to control him. Seeing this, Midoriya looked down, his hair covering his eyes as he plucks a hair out of his head and takes his hand toward All Might. "Young Midoriya, you are my chosen successor. Just because I gained a few pounds doesn't make you any less worthy of the quirk. Your quirk," All Might says in a grandeur manner, spreading his arms. Seeing this, Midoriya lets out a tear and throws the hair to the trash can. "So how does he know?" Jiru says as she pointed to me. "Well, you're not the only one holding a jaw-dropping secret, Missy," I say as tilt my head. She in return gave me a blank stare. Seeing the time, we excuse ourselves from the office to reach the classroom just in time. The rest of the day flying by. Seeing the final bell ring, we walk outside to see a plethora of students outside. While in canon Katsuki would say something here, though we actually managed to cruise past the students. Getting to the gate, we see Tamaki waiting there with a U-Haul behind the warehouse back entrance where the living area was. We managed to knock down the wall and pay construction workers to build a new room, Tamaki insisting it be next to mine. Setting up her room would take the entire time before our training schedule. Adding Tamaki to the training wasn't much too big, as she managed to step in and help Ajiru by repeatedly beating on him with the things she ate this afternoon, which happened to be octopus and jellyfish and a bull. Day of the sports festival. Training these last weeks was kinda brutal, pushing ourselves harder than ever before. Reaching the arena, we're stopped at the entrance where the announcements for the festival to begin start. Remembering that Katsuki challenged me, Shoto and Ajiru to be number 1. I smirk at the memory, and it reminds me how competitive I was when I was a kid. Shaking my head, I return to staring at the tunnel. 3, 2, 1, go. Present Mike yells. Midoriya and Jiru blast out of the tunnel using his new move OFA. Full cowling, able to control 5% of OFA. They reach first while escaping the tunnel. Jiru turns back to see people stuck together covering the entrance. She smirks before hearing 2 large booms to see Katsuki, Shoto and Rai speeding past, already passing them by meters. Us already reaching the robot section of the course, we just fly by them like they weren't there. The 0-pointers being a little bit harder, but we got through, mainly keeping the momentum. While normally I would just speed through here and not make wings on my back, but it's all for conserving my energy for the second event. While passing the second obstacle in this race, I slowly started to realize that if you could fly, you basically have an ungodly advantage. Making use of this, we make it to the minefield, having present Mike Sensei introduce it to us. It seems our wonder kids of the first years made it to the minefield. Aizawa interrupted him. These mines make big explosions, but that is really just for show. But even then it packs a punch, us merely just flying over it, grabbing each other heads. Race for the finish line. We cross the finish line. Checking the screen behind Midnight, we see us literally crossing the line at the same time we face fault. Midnight just scratches her cheek as she proceeds to announce. Shototodoroki, Rai and Katsuki Bakugou passing at the same time. They each gain first place, while the next person to cross that line gets fourth. I let out a puff of amusement when everyone finally arrives, the last being Aoyama coming in at 42nd. Midnight Sensei begins spinning the wheel at landing on cavalry battle. She explains the rules while coming to a decision in her mind. Todoroki, Shoto, Rai and Katsuki Bakugou must be on the same team to obtain their 10 million points, or they'll all have third place's points, she announces with a satisfied smile adoring her face. Sighing, I put my hand in front of them while Katsuki and Shoto just smirk as they put their hands atop mine. Waiting a second, we see another hand on top, shifting to see Ajiru. He showed his determined face, showing his canines. Raising our hands, we shout team as everyone starts to look for teams. Katsuki, I think you should be the rider, while Ajiru is the front horse, tanking the damage of your explosions. Me and Shoto can assist you with our quirks. I state my point. Hey Shoto, can you just freeze the 10 million on Katsuki head? The look of acknowledgement put on his face as Katsuki puts the headband and Shoto freezes it. We're going to win an absolute victory. No one will have points other than us. Katsuki grins, showing his teeth. Right, we support him on our shoulders as the timer ticks down to 0. Katsuki started by just looking at people, seeing what and how they used their quirks. There was Team Jiru with Midoriya as the front horse and Uraraka and Hatsume on the sides. There was Team Yaoyorozu with Ida as the front with Kaminari and Ashita, and Team Asui with Shoji as the entire horse, while Mainta and Asui were on top of him, covering them in a shell. And there was the Class 1B students he doesn't know about. Having the headband frozen on his head make it impossible to take it off without force, and Midnight said no harm done to other teams or they're out, just like in canon. Done his thinking, he speeds at Team Tetsu, managing to blindside him and take his headband that laid on his neck. Taking it off, Katsuki returns to us in order to Shoto to break the ice on the 10 million headband, put the new headband over the 10 million and freeze it again. Having this strategy while most people avoiding our team, we managed to catch people off guard by freezing the ground so they didn't move or me shooting electric beams startling them. So most people resorted to capturing the second place's points, overrunning them as if they were with the 10 million points. This happening became a rhythm, making the race for fourth place being to get any points on the board. 10 seconds remaining, screamed Midnight through her microphone as she starts counting down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Midnight Sensei spoke through the microphone while present Mike starts announcing the 4 teams making it to the finals. Team Bakugou with 10,002,500 points. The screen shows us as we pose for the camera. Team Jiru with 1290. The screen shows them well. Midoriya crying, Uraraka vomiting, Jiru touching her jacks together in a blushing heap getting shown on television, while Hatsume was tinkering with her jetpack. In third we have Team Yaoyorozu, each of them just cheering. And in 4th place we have Team Shinso. Shinso just looks at the competitors still in the game while his teammates just stare as they're just shocked. Alright folks, we'll be back in the next hour as the people get food for the one-on-one battles. Present Mike explains in a rather calm tone well compared to his normal way of speaking. Walking to the cafeteria, Shoto had to split to go to the bathroom. He tells them he'll be on his way when he's finished. Separating himself, Shoto walks to the bathroom. Entering. Getting out of the bathroom, he hears the screams of his name Shoto. He turns around to see Natsuo and Fayumi launch at him. We're rooting for you lil bro, Natsuo says, griping his neck while nudging his head while Fayumi just gave Shoto a bright smile. Well, we should get some food. Natsuo has been whining for food all day, saying he would skip breakfast to eat all the food here. Fayumi laughs as Natsuo pouts at his older sister. Shoto just chuckles and walks away waving his hand. Walking in peace as Shoto comes across another person, his father, and Todoroki, aka pro hero endeavor, showing a warm smile he wouldn't normally show, pats Shoto on the head. Shoto, you know, I'm really proud of how far you came. He looks down even without me supporting you and acting terrible to you and your siblings. All Shoto does is look at his father. At least you're trying to change. Dad, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your training me to become the best, but I think I just needed to step out of your shadow while you also step to the shadows yourself, reflecting on me. On us as a family. Though I can't forgive you, I say we can start anew as real father and son. Inji smiles. I'm willing to do this if you're willing to give me a chance, my son. Shoto nods as Inji begins to speak. You have about an hour, right? How about we explore the festival and get food on the way? Inji suggests. I'd like that. Just let me text my friends real quick. Inji nods. Receiving a text from Shoto saying he wouldn't be here. I wonder what he's doing. Shaking my head, I return to eating with Katsuki and Ajiru. Before finishing, I throw my trash away and put my tray away before being stopped by Minta. Minta, we never really spoke. He's an okay guy, well, without the pervy antics, but I can't help but feel for the little guy. The guy's been harassed because of his quirk and him being short that he resorted to being pervy to gain people attention and trying to get a girl's companionship. Seeing Minta, I greet him. Hey Minta, what's up? We really don't talk in class, so what's up? How? He asks. I lift an eyebrow. How did you get a hot smoking babe as your girlfriend? Dude, I even heard she was a 3rd year. Minta cries. Well, in a more comical way, I look up to see Kaminari ready to pull Minta back, but I turn my eyes back to Minta and tell him. I'll tell you. His shocked face along Kaminari was comical, and I dragged Minta to an empty hallway. It was the 2nd year's hall where all the classes were. So teach me. Minta gets on his knees in a begging position. Well, first of all, tell me why you're so desperate for attention and companionship. I see it in your eyes. Minta is quickly silenced as he droops his head down. I sit on the floor back against the wall and motion for him to sit next to me. He obliges while I pat him on the back. You can spill your guts. I won't tell anyone, I say to him as he just looks at the floor. It's Jay. Just Minta lets out a tear as his hair balls cover his face. I was always bullied ever since I got my quirk, and my parents, they're the best, make me feel worse for what I became. The real reason I wanted to be a hero was for my parents to have something to actually be proud about what their son is. He began to cry, letting out more tears. And at the USJ I made a realization I hadn't grown at all. I was still the kid that was bullied all those years. I want to be better. Did you ever have anyone, a girlfriend or friend? He nods sadly. I actually had a girlfriend. She was the only person to give the loser grape a chance, and we fell in love. He lets out more tears. There's nothing funny about these tears. It's full of pain. She loved me and I loved her, but she died. Minta gulps. She died by a villain. That's when I thought of becoming a hero. There was no hero for her, but I'll be a hero for both our wills. Minta lets the tears fall. Then focus on trying to be the best hero, not just for you but all your loved ones, and learn to believe in yourself. High school, let it be a new beginning to your life. Minta finally wiping his tears away. Pop, 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 pop. Startled, I see Minta's balls explode, returning it to the purple hair he had before. Minta begins getting wrapped in his grapes. Though they aren't balls, they're smooth until they harden into a cocoon housing Minta inside. Me just staring in awe at the spectacle. A minute passes until it cracks and more cracks start to appear before snapping open to see a now 5'6" sized Minta in ripped cloths. Yup. Covering my eyes, he starts to wake up as he looks at himself to see himself naked. All what happened? I just passed out. Let's go to the nurse's office to get you checked up. Managing to avoid everyone we make there, and immediately recovery girl throws him a hospital gown while getting on the phone for school clothes to be brought to her office. Doing her normal checkup to see nothing bad happened and proposed that Minta evolved with his quirk. After telling her what happened with the cocoon, leaving the room with a Minta now fully clothed and hungry as all hell, we go back to the table I sat at to see Katsuki and Ajiru still there. Minta goes to get food, eventually sitting in front of me and next to Ajiru. Their attention focused of Minta while he just devoured everything on his tray as he never really ate that much before his awakening. That's Minta. They both turned to look shocked at him just eating. Minta, would you like to join us in training? He nods his head with the same fire in his eyes that came from everyone's eyes each time they've been determined. You guys agree with that? I turned my head to them as they dumbly nodded, seeing the time there was 10 minutes left. Seeing Minta finish his food, Minta walks to the stands as me, Katsuki, and Ajiru walk to the arena. Seeing Shoto already there, we converged with him. And being really happy. Welcome me to the final round of the UA First Year Sports Festival. The one-on-one tournament will work like this. Midnight announcement brings everyone's attention to her snapping her whip in the air. Hearing it smack quiets everyone down. Alright, the one-on-one matches will be randomized. Winning the match needs the fighter either throwing the opponent out of the ring or knocking them unconscious, or they yield or are incapacitated. She finished speaking as the matches show up on the screen. Oh damn, I say, the match is slightly changing. Bakugou vs Hitoshi Shinso. Winner advances to quarterfinals. Mei Hatsum vs Ida Tenya. Winner advances to quarterfinals. Ijiru Kirishima vs Tetsu. Winner advances to quarterfinals. Momoye Yarazu vs Ibara Shizaki. Winner advances to quarterfinals. Shototodoroki vs Denki Kaminari. Winner advances to quarterfinals. Mina Ashido vs Yuga Aoyama. Winner advances to quarterfinals. Kyoyuka Jiro vs Achako Uraraka. Winner advances to quarterfinals. Katsuki Bakugou vs Izukumidoriya. Winner advances to quarterfinals. Winner of match 1 versus winner of match 2. Winner heads to semifinals. Winner of match 3 versus winner of match 4. Winner heads to semifinals. Winner of match 5 versus winner of match 6. Winner heads to semifinals. Winner of match 7 versus winner of match 8. Winner heads to semifinals. Winner of match 1 versus winner of match 2. Heads to finals. Winner of match 4 versus winner of match 6. Heads to finals. Winner of match 1 versus winner of match 6. Winner of tournament. Reading the tournament bracket, I could see I don't fight Katsuki until we go to finals, and a little less there Shoto. All competitors go to your stand. The first match will begin in 20 minutes. Midnight begins to quiet down as the students turn their back and head into the tunnels. Getting to the one stands to secure a seat before we see Minta return from the bathroom. Everyone turned to look at the new arrival, not knowing who it was. A devious smile comes across my face. Hey Minta, sit over here. I gesture to the seat next to me. Everyone who didn't know that was Minta let out a shocked face while also sputtering. Sitting in the seat, he begins checking the match bracket, waiting and walking down to the waiting room. My fight against Shinso going to happen in 5 minutes. He need to make me talk. I'll just not talk. Wait, actually, I wonder, can I spark my mind to break his brainwashing? A thought. Walking into the arena to see Shinso in front of me with his empty stare, but there seemed to be determination in his eyes. Are you boys ready? Midnight announced from her spot on a platform. Cementos mad for her. We both nod. Then present. Mid did the honors. Bakugou versus Hitoshi Shinso are both fighters. Rita looks down to see Midnight giving him the go away. 3, 2, 1. Clash. Saying that, Shinso immediately asked me, how don't you think it was stupid just to leave when you're in the finals? What an idiot. Me not budging, I just walk to him, hands in my pockets. I see him panicking but tries to keep a calm face. Answer me, you bastard. I hate people like you and your relative. You two are blessed with amazing quirks, while others like me are told we're bullied for having quirks we never even wanted. He keeps spiting until I reach. Seeing me so close, he panicked and threw a haphazard punch, grabbing the punch, turning around and slamming him into the ground. Outside the arena. Shinso is out of the arena. Bakugou is the winner, Mike announced. Shinso, disheartened, gets up and ready to leave until he stops as I call out to him, you really never deserve to be in the hero course. Angered, he turns and glares. What do you know? He spat. I know. Seeing you. You look like you never trained a day in your life. You probably thought that your quirk could carry your worthless ass. I breathe, and I can tell most, if not all, the student in my class are stronger than you, even the girls. But not only that, I bet when you saw the robots you were so worried about yourself you could be a hero by saving my green-haired classmate. The boy he only passed with hero points. You can be a hero, just don't let what people think of you stop you. I walk back to the other tunnel. Shinso just contemplates this and walks through the tunnel to see his entire class cheer him on. Shinso smirks. I'm going to be a hero no matter who tries to stop me. Walking up to the stands, I get a fist bump from my friends and we sit down to see the next fighters out on the arena already. 10 minutes later. Well, seeing it in person really is impressive. How she fooled him like that. It was special, alright. The next participants make their way to the arena, wishing Ajiru luck before he left raised his spirits even more than they already was. I smirk. Ajiru is leaps and bounds above what his canon self was, him even managing to activate Unbreakable for 30 seconds, so maintaining normal level hardness baka me a lot easier. Although I remember teaching him something, maybe he'll use that way of fighting, not like he really needs it. Training with Tamaki has more than helped Ajiru improve his reaction time, and he gained a fighting style while finding techniques for himself. Next match, it's Ajiru Kirishima of Class 1A versus Tetsu of Class 1B. Are you all ready? Present Mike screamed through his mic. Both Ajiru and Tetsu nodded before Present Mike starts counting down 3, 2, 1 clash. Him liking the word more than the boring fight. They both run at each other. When they meet each other at the middle of the ring, Tetsu throws a punch aimed at Ajiru's head. The opponent dodged and delivered a punch with a hardened punch to the abdomen, and another was a back fist at his head, making him step a few feet backwards trying to recover. Ajiru, not giving him the chance, runs it at him, throwing a sloppy punch at Tetsu's shoulder only for Tetsu to fall into a knee by Ajiru. Staggering back, Tetsu ran at Ajiru once more, creating a rhythm. This fight was going where if Tetsu ever landed an attack, Ajiru would always land multiple more shots on him, weakening for him to collapse on the floor. Tetsu is unconscious. Ajiru Kirishima is the winner. Nen announced his victory as medical robots came escorting Tetsu of the arena. Ajiru, upon entering the stands, got slaps on the back while giving a fist bump to his closer friend. As we watch the next competitors approaching the field is Momoye Yarazu and Ibara Shizaki. Standing on opposite sides, Midnight announces for the next matchup it will be Momoye Yarazu of Class 1A against Ibara Shizaki from Class 1B. Are you ladies ready? Midnight calls. Both women on the field answer with a nod. Present Mike, doing what he does best, counts down the time. Are you all ready? 3, 2, 1 clash. He yells with enthusiasm. Yarazu immediately making a shield for incoming vines from her opponent. She makes a sword to try and cut through the vines. She's successful in cutting through a few, but more keel coming until it overwhelms her, knocking her out of the arena. Midnight announcing Shizaki victory made something in Yarazu hurt, like she felt before. The confidence she had before broke and was a shell of its former self. She walks into the tunnel. After Midnight calls for a 20-minute break for the fighter to get ready for the next fight of Shototodoroki versus Denki Kaminari. Yarazu, crying in the tunnel, turns when she hears a noise only to see one of her classmates. It was Rai Bakugou. Why is he here? No one should be here. Hey, are you alright? I finally break the ice. She stares at me, thinking of a good response, but wanting to hide her problems, chooses to lie. Nothing was happening. Bakugou-kun, I know you're lying. Yarazu, I can tell. I saw your fight with Shizaki. You're doubting your ability, aren't you? Shocked to say the least, stared wide-eyed at me before answering, why? Why would you care? How would you know anyways? She screamed in sad rage. I had the same face you did, and actually so did Katsuki. Her eyes snapped open. How does someone as strong as Rai had confidence problems? People aren't made strong. Yarazu, don't make this one match shake you just because you lost. You're Momoye Yarazu, the smartest and one of the most beautiful in our class, a recommendation student. I grab her shoulders. Don't let one match shake you. Learn from it, improve. This is why we're here. We're here to mess up, to grow. Yes, things will be bad, maybe make you give up, but you must prevail. I hug her. Don't doubt yourself and trust your instincts. You're strong and you'll get stronger, so don't worry. She pulls me in and I start to wipe her tears of her face. Hey, you look cuter without those tears. Hold still, I say, showing a small smirk while her entire face blushes and her eyes try to look at anything but me. I snicker and turn before Yarazu latches onto my back. Can we stay like this a bit longer? She blushes, of course. Walking into the stands, me and Yarazu walk toe in toe and sit in my normal spot next to Maita, but the person occupying the next seat would normally be Shoto, but he's in the waiting room, so Yarazu sits there. A shocked Maita whispers to me, teach me please, senpai. I put my hand on my mouth to muffle my laughter as Yarazu stares at the sunny sky, looking at the path Rai put her on. Thinking of him, she turned her head to meet his smile. She sputters and turns to the field, blushing up a storm. I just examine Yarazu and see she's 2 inches taller than me. Shit, those hugs I gave her earlier were damn wired since I'm shorter. A fucking kill me already. With these stupid thoughts filling my head, I look on the field to see Shoto absolutely waste Denki immediately with an ice wall pushing him before being able to charge his lightning. That happened. Katsuki let out a smirk before saying, Kaminari never had a chance in hell. Shoto fights you and you have a 10x better quirk than Kaminari's. And by the way, when did you and Yarazu get all buddy-buddy? With a raised eyebrow to emphasize his question. We both blush at that one, but I managed to answer him. Only like a couple of minutes ago I helped her and thanked me for, plus we're friends anyways, right Momo? I turned my attention to her. At the mention of being friends with Rai, to him even calling her given name, she sputtered and blushed, managing a meek reply. Yes, me and Rai are friends. She blushes a bit harder. Katsuki gives me a suspicious look before asking Momo a question. So did Rai invite you to the training sessions? She breaks out of her blushing mess and tilts her head. Training session. Katsuki proceeds to tell her how we train, and seeing the same fire in her eyes as everyone else, we invite her as well. I'll be nice for her and Tamaki to meet as we're all boys and Tamaki. The next match just happens like normal, nothing I hadn't seen happen in the anime, which is kinda surprising. The changes I made still don't change that, huh? Gyro versus Uraraka, quite the unexpected matchup I have to say. Hey Kyoyuka, Midoriya calls out to VERYYYY Izuku. She stands in front of Midoriya and looks up at him. I want to fight you Kyoyuka plus Ultra. Midoriya expresses his want, but you're going to have to beat Bakugou first, and I need to beat Uraraka first. Well, thanks for that, green bean. I'll beat here so I can kick you ass too. Kyoyuka smiles and walks away. When she's gone, Midoriya puts a hand on his heart as it felt like it was about to explode and blushes red as he keeps thinking of Kyoyuka. I need to tell her after the festival how I feel. I can't control myself around her or I'll explode. In waiting room 2 was Ochako. Uraraka, trying to ease her nerves. Making it to the finals already took so much out of her, and she needed to win this, not just for her but her family. She was broken out of her thought by Katsuki. Bakugou entering the room. Blinking in confusion, Uraraka just stares and says, "Hello Bakugou-kun, what are you doing here? Well, wishing you luck, and I wanted to say I wanted you to win so we could have a proper rematch. No tricks." She stares in wonder at Katsuki before lightly blushing. "How are you so confident Bakugou-kun?" she asks. "I'm so confident because I believe in myself and trained damn hard. I'm confident in my abilities, but I don't want to ever settle. I want to be the best there ever was, and settling isn't going to help me," he triumphantly says, lighting a fire under Uraraka. "You're right, I should be confident in myself and my training. I trained hard to get here, and I'm about to show why I'm in the hero course. Thank you Bakugou-kun." Uraraka leaves the room while leaving the door open. Next match in our bracket is Kyoyuka Gyro versus Ochako Uraraka, both from class 1. Are you both ready? Midnight says. Both girls nod. Present. Mike counts us down. You ready everybody? 3, 2, 1 clash. Both girls rush at each other, Jiru extending her jack with Uraraka dodging, knowing if one of those jacks land on their mark they can numb an arm or leg for a couple of minutes. No time to end a fight. More exchanges like this happen until Jiru plugs the jacks into the ground, exploding it, causing Uraraka to turn her gravity off, but getting hit by a jack in her left hand before Jiru grabs the numb arm and throws Uraraka out of the ring, floating, only for her to get hit by debris thrown by Jiru. One hits her head, stunning her and driving her to the wall, and with the numb arm touching the ground. Ochako Uraraka is outside of the arena. Kyoyuka Gyro wins and moves to the next round. Uraraka, walking back from the nurse's office, heads into the waiting room where she calls her parents. After her talk, she's ready to leave but is stopped by Katsuki, who comes in the door alarmed. "Bakugou-kun," she said, tilting her head. "You okay? I saw your face at the end of your match." Katsuki asks. "Oh Bakugou-kun, I'm fine now. It's just my family needs money. I want to help them. That's why I wanted to be a hero, to help them and make a lot of money so they don't have to work again. It's an amazing goal, Uraraka. I'll have you know that there's nothing to be ashamed of. But that's what I like about you. You're able to come back stronger, are competitive, and are my opposite. While I'm more quiet, you're more bubbly." At this, Uraraka blushes really hard. "And if you need money help, I can help you." "How?" "I can probably ask Rai for a long-time loan to your parents where you pay monthly if you have enough money to jumpstart your parents' company. And since you just participated in the sports festival and got into the finals, should give them more popularity than ever." "You would do the." Uraraka starting to cry of happiness. "It's what a hero would do," he says, but when he finishes, Uraraka hugs him until she noticed it and got off him. Both of them blushing. "Why do you want to help me so much?" Katsuki spat his feelings without thinking. "Well, if I didn't help my crush I wouldn't feel so good since I could do something to help." He panicked as he looks at Uraraka, whose whole face turned red. Katsuki saying he had a crush on her made him just want to ask her. "Would you go out with me?" he asked, and turned his head down while clutching the back of his neck. A minute passes as Katsuki looks at Uraraka, red, about to say, "Only if you be my boyfriend I'm willing to do that." Katsuki gave her a kiss on the forehead, both people warming up, deciding to take their leave until they saw the TV and saw Katsuki match in 5 minutes. "I'm going to be cheering for you Katsuki." Katsuki smirks. "I'll win this thing, not just for me but everyone that's helped me, my friends, family, and my beautiful girlfriend." Ochako blushes as Katsuki runs to the arena. Walking into the arena, Katsuki already saw Midoriya, his hair blocking his eyes. "Boys, if you get too rough in this fight I'm going to have to stop the fight," Midnight said in her few moments of strictness during the festival. Katsuki nods and Midoriya grits his teeth while also nodding. There must be animosity between each other, but only Midoriya seems to show it while Bakugou seems to be over at him. Midnight in her thoughts began asking the student if they're ready. Katsuki again nods. Midoriya, however, "Can this match start please?" In a rather impatient tone, uncommon from Midoriya, causing Katsuki to eye him suspiciously. Clearing her throat, she speaks into the microphone. The last match of round 1 is Katsuki Bakugou vs Izukumidoriya, both from class 1. A present mic picks up from there. Are you ready, everyone? Well, this match starts in 3, 2, 1. Flash. Mike yells into the mic, maybe breaking it from using his quirk ops. Back in the arena, calling the start of the match, Katsuki, seeing Midoriya angered, played defensive, seeing the many mistakes in his style of fighting that overly resembled All Might. Wait, he uses his notebooks to analyze people. I haven't really used any techniques other than compressed explosion. Maybe I should bring an old move back. Katsuki grins, while with Midoriya he hated that cockiness and would knock that off his face. A Detroit smash, he swears it. Katsuki exploding forward, he launches his middle school classic right hook to start. At this, Midoriya smirks and grabs his arm and readies to throw him to the ground until he heard and felt an explosion. Boom. Knocking Midoriya off his feet as his head's all hazy and is currently deaf in one ear. He sees Katsuki and runs to him with full cowling, pushing past his limits, raising his percentage to 8%. Launching at Katsuki, he leers his fist towards Katsuki's face as Katsuki throws a kick, only for the back of his shins to make him explode forward, kicking Midoriya in the face while exploding all sides of his shins, knocking Midoriya out of bounds. Him landing ungracefully, he gets up, gripping the grass as he looks at Katsuki. An image from his past shows up as he's in his middle school class, as he sees a younger Katsuki standing on top of his freshly roasted notebook, as the people in the background are black with white outlines making teeth that move as they all make laughing noises. Izukumidoriya is out of bounds, Cat Midnight announces, but gets cut off. KATSUKI. A yell of burning rage comes from Midoriya as he sees Katsuki turned his back, walking away, looked back to see a fist in his face. 35%. Midoriya yells, punching Katsuki, sending him into the wall. Midoriya breaking his arm, not shattering it, when he uses 100%. Midnight activated her quirk, putting Midoriya to sleep, while the medic bot sent both boys to the nurse's office. Seeing the recent actions, most people in the stands, while Rai, Shoto, Ijiru, Mainta, Momo and Uraraka rush to the nurse's office. Jiru following at a much slower pace. Izuku, why did you do that? Why? Reaching the office, the door swings open to see Midoriya awake with his right arm in a cast, while Katsuki in the next bed still passed out. Katsuki. Everyone yelled, calm down everyone, he's fine, but I don't know if he may wake up in time for the next round. What everyone said to a higher pitch of voice. Katsuki will have to forfeit the tournament. Damn it, I said Katsuki wanted to be here for so long and train just as hard. I take a step until recovery girl stop me. Why are you stopping me? I already submitted his dismissal in the tournament. Why? Because they made a decision that Midoriya, since the only one being awake, would move on as from normal healing. Bakugou should wake up at the end of the festival. This was not my decision. Then who was it that did it? Aizawa. I don't know what he's thinking, but even All Might was behind it. I think he wanted to see Midoriya a little more with little technique of his, plus no harm was really done. What do you mean? Katsuki's time to shine for what he prepared and trained for multiple years had been outdone by someone that he beat the snot out off me. And Shoto looking at Midoriya as he seems in a trance, looking at his hand. We just walk out not wanting to see Midoriya's face. Going up to the stands, we see there been a 20-minute break before the quarterfinals of the tournament. The matches listed: Rai Bakugou vs Ida Tenya. Winner heads to semifinals. Ijiru Kirishima vs Ibara Shizaki. Winner heads to semifinals. Shoto Todoroki vs Mina Ashido. Winner heads to semifinals. Kyoyuka Jiro vs Izuku Midoriya. Winner heads to semifinals. Waiting for my match felt like I was watching paint dry so long. Finally, I see my match about to start, but instead of walk to the tunnel, I just jump off the stands and create wings to fly my way down. Making it to the arena, I dispel my wings and let gravity do its thing, and I land. I take a few steps before Midnight announces, welcome me everyone to the quarterfinals of the sports festival. Stay tuned for this next fight. Rai Bakugou vs Ida Tenya. Class president of WANA introducing them both before asking if they're ready. Yes, I am, Miss Midnight. Ida responds in his normal speech while I just nod, getting confirmation. Mike starts his countdown. Alright everybody, are you all ready? Cheers of excitement exude the stadium. Well, get ready everyone, cause we start at 3, 2, 1 clash. He yells the loudest he ever shouted during the tournament. At the yell, Ida yelled, powering up his engine. Recipro burst. Yelling his ultimate move, he rushes at me, but putting on Thunder God, I launch back at Ida, managing to dodge his strikes while spreading clones of myself over the field. All of them surround Ida, not being able to take them down as kicking one just brings another one. Ida continues his struggle until his engines stall, causing to fall at the loss of momentum before getting wrapped up in electric chain. Midnight calling the match. Ida Tenya is unable to battle. Rai Bakugou wins. She calls from a microphone. Walking through the tunnel and stopping at a vending machine. I see Ijiru walk this way, though not without his uncertainties. Hey, you okay? You shouldn't be panicking. It's probably just like fighting Tamaki with more octopus tendrils, but a person that's less skilled than her. You got this if you used hardening. Knife edge technique of yours should counter hers, but expect anything out there. Ijiru nods, check the time, and starts running to the arena. Letting a sigh of amusement escape me as I made my way to the stands, I passed by Midoriya, who was sitting in the corner seat cornered by Jiru as it seems she wants to comfort him. I let another sigh out as I realize how much I care for Katsuki and all my friends nowadays. Now I'm having a harder time if I want to go home or not. Shoto, seeing Midoriya return to the stands, brought something new. He has never felt disgust. Normally he didn't really feel anything from Midoriya as he was just another classmate, but hearing Katsuki passed it made Shoto pity him, but that pity went to anger at how the times he doesn't want to listen to others, he hurts people. Walking up to Midoriya, Shoto displays a cold glare on the boy. Jiru is the one that answered, is there something you want to say, or you don't like us because Izuku gave the hit that shit stain deserved? Turning into a colder glare, well, to say I'm mad at you yourself isn't what I hate you not listening. This caused Midoriya to put his full attention to Shoto. Because of you, Rai almost died trying to protect you when you should have adhered his command, but you had to step in. Shoto unknowingly activated his quirk, spraying Midoriya's feet in ice, and I was here. You didn't listen to Midnight Sensei and her Katsuki when the match was over, and now you're here. You don't deserve to be here. Jiru just grits her teeth as Midoriya's face went into realization. I hate your judgment, Midoriya. With that, Shoto walks away, sitting in his seat ready to watch Jiru's match against Shiozaki. Sitting down next to Shoto and on my other side being Momo, we start having idle chit-chat until Jiru makes to the arena. When he does, he's a bit sweaty, but alright overall. Midnight announces the match. This is round 2 of the semifinals of the sports festival. First up we have Ijiru Kirishima of the Hero Course versus Ibara Shiozaki, also from the Hero Course. Are the both of you ready? Both nod. Mike, seeing his chance, finishes up. Are you all ready for the next round? Well, if you're not, then sorry, but 3, 2, 1 clash, he says. At hearing Mike's clash, they both spark into action. Ibara shooting waves and waves of vines at Ijiru. Ijiru manages to weave and dodge these attacks as he is a bit proficient at avoiding tendrils. Ijiru keeps his rush and keeps dodging and cutting with his hardened fingertips, creating knife's edge. Making it to Ibara, he punches her with a hardened fist before aiming another punch to give him the knockout. But as his fist rains down, a multitude of tendrils shoot out of the ground, grabbing the fist and trying to speed up to try and throw Ijiru out of the ring. Seeing this, he lays a hand down and stabs the ground with his hardened fingers before delivering the deciding blow with a hardened foot, ripping his shoe. Ibara Shiozaki is unable to battle. The winner is Ijiru Kirishima. Midnight says into the microphone. Medic bots rush to get Shiozaki while Ijiru goes to get another show from his locker. Lucky he brought an extra pair, expecting this. Why did I have to against Todoroki? He's going to destroy me, the melancholy Ishido said. Kaminari, being one of the people close to her. Yeah, those 3 guys are on another level entirely. Kinda makes me feel unable to take care of myself knowing this. Ishido runs to the waiting room. Shoto, having his mood fixed, he waits for the time to tick down, wanting to end this tournament to see Katsuki. Both competitors walk into the arena, one with a determined expression and one with cheerfulness. Hey Todoroki, can you go easy me? I'm sorry Ishido-san, but that would be an insult to you, wouldn't it? I guess you're right. Having their little conversation in the middle of Midnight's announcing, they nod. Mike being Mike, okay everybody, are you ready? Why, well, who cares, cause this match starts at 3, 2, 1 clash. With that, Shoto creates spikes of ice, aiming right at Ishido with her sliding away on her acid. Trying another approach, Shoto makes a ice wall before separating into 4 pieces that they are circling Ishido, managing to dodge one but manages to get hit by one which froze everything but her head. It's cold, I yield, please get me out of here. Shoto dispelling his ice as well on Ishido's body as well. He puts a fire in his left hand as he tries warming her back up. Sorry about that. It's fine, all you wanted to do was win. I want to win too. Ishido giggles while having a blush on her by having this guy apologize to her while being so close. She smiles and kisses his cheek before getting up and running away. Bye Todoroki, win the tournament for me, can you? She giggles once more. Shoto, frozen at the recent action, has a blush on his face while his fireside began heating up, expelling fire. Catching himself, he turns it down and walks away with that blush still on his face. That was unexpected, Momo said from her spot of the stands. Me either, I said, dumbfounded. That was very unexpected. Shoto and Ishido, upon reaching the stands, were barraged by questions, though they were quieted down by Ida as he got a call from his family. Upon answering the call, his eyes widened as he prepared to leave, as he did just that. Izukumidoriya versus Kyoyuka. Jiru fighters, are you ready? Midoriya nodded, but Jiru wanting to express her thoughts. I won't lose that easily Izuku, you better bring your best, and I mean that right. Smiling at the interaction while Mike announced the start of the match. Are you all ready for the last round of the quarterfinals? Well, if you're not, then that's bad for you, cause we're starting in 3, 2, 1 clash. Mike says one more time. Midoriya activating OFA and jumping out of Jiru range as he wanted her to come to him. She obliges and rushes him with a combo of punches and earlobe strikes, none of them hitting their mark but getting counterattacks by Midoriya with 3 punches. But managing through the pain, she inserted her earlobes into his left arm, numbing it, but him, remembering having legs, throws a kick at her head, sending her out of the arena. Hyouka is out of the arena. Izukumidoriya is the winner. Midnight announces. Walking to pick up Jiru, he put her on medic robot while he goes on another, hoping recovery girl can fix numbingness. Semifinals matches. Bakugou vs Ijiru Kirishima. Winner heads to finals. Shototodoroki vs Izukumidoriya. Winner heads to the finals. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.